Hello, everyone. It's been a while. Well, a couple of days, a day, not too long. We're getting back with Haas here. We're going to continue the second season here. See if we actually had some challenge. Aston is basically fixed. Discord apparently is not muted. It's very annoying. OBS sometimes mute that for me, so I don't think about that. Antonio is ready. Check. But yeah, I think we are getting ready. We had a setup for Monaco we wanted me to test. I'm gonna go dig a little bit, see if I can find it. Or if, I believe it was Matty. He is here. There we go, Matty is here indeed. I seem to remember last time you had a Monaco setup you wanted me to give a go. That would give a perfect setup. I managed to close the notepad documents. I no longer have it, unfortunately.
And this weekend is no exception, as we get to watch the...
Give me just a quick second here. I seem to be losing a lot of things already. I shall be back. There we go, should be back. Basically, my computer, when I record, I use 1080, but for streaming, it starts to struggle at 1080, so I turned it down to 720. So I just had to fix that. Unfortunately, it means I need to momentarily stop my stream to make it happen. Okay, so max wings 91290. Basically, everything almost violently in a direction. Let's see, yeah. Should have practice parts now, if I remember. Probably playing multiple saves is that I need a second just to refamiliarize myself, which is kind of a headache. But we shall get down to it. For those of you who might be interested, the non-race part of Aston will be up sometime tonight. Didn't have time to finish it before stream. That's actually why I was almost late. So, I'll get it finished sometime later. Hello, Parno. But yeah, I think we are set up then. Before someone loses his smile, let's get Lugovic in here. I'm gonna sim practice. We can do it in quali, even. And if it's perfect, it will be perfect. Try and force it once more. Apparently, they did not agree with your strategy. The AI. How's Tsunami doing? Still building it?
Hello, and thank you for joining us as our race weekend unfolds.
Let's see here. They are still causing a little bit mayhem. Yeah, unfortunately this one does not seem to match. Because it won't go in within the parameters, unfortunately, Maddie. Unless I misread. But this looks kind of okay. Needs a little bit of tweak there. You can see. So it isn't far off that it's a good one. But it needs a slight tweakage. But it is very close for sure. That won't be a great hint to it being right there. I guess they do have slightly different preferences. They're like this. Let's see when that lands us. But yeah, it was close. Has everyone had a good Easter so far? Good vacation? Couple of days of relaxation? I've had honestly a fairly good time. Can't really complain. Pick it like so. That should do it. Same there. That should be okay. Let's get the proper parts in the car. And unfortunately, I haven't had a chance really to look at the mod yet. Well, not the mod really, the database save file repackager, because I was busy basically all day yesterday. I'm being quite busy today too. Hello, Poconaldo. A wok restaurant tomorrow? Fancy dinner? I don't think we have even a single wok restaurant in the city where I live, so I hope you enjoy. Yeah, this should be good. Let's see what we get to quali. Let's see, like Monaco is Italian Jesus' best track. Magnussen 5th in practice.
Ready to check, Kev.
Giovinazzi unfortunately
It's
not
good.
there. Maybe we'll have to try and give him a bit of a tour here, maybe. No roadblocks, that's nice. Williams save, season 1, P5 with 119 points. Yeah. The stream is freezing. Let me have a look at preset here, how it looks. Unless YouTube is lying to me, the stream should be stable. And it also seems, unless my internet cut out there for a second, because it hasn't missed any frames from rendering or uploading, so I would assume the stream is fine, yeah. I think Geo is safe here, that we don't need to do a second run, so let's just power through. Magnussen was podium there before the Red Bulls decided to say, nah, we ain't doing that. Probably a bit of a lag spike. I had to reconfigure my stream right before I started. Oh yeah, as the stream at the beginning, like a couple of minutes in, I reconfigured it because it was running 1080p, and my computer just doesn't handle that once I press this plus button here, so I turned it down to 720 to make sure the stream is actually, you know, viewable and not a choppy mess. Okay, got both into Q1, which is good. 800% confidence of Magnussen here. That is nice to see. But you should have a good race.
Ready to check, Kevin.
But yeah, partner, that was probably just me fixing things earlier. That is a good 7 minutes ago. So yeah, if we run into Alonso, I think we should be good, maybe. Yeah, we should be good. Geo 6/10 of Magnussen. That's not good on a, well, rather short track. We're probably going to send him out again. Honestly, Williams Season 2, finishing underfloor rear wing and front wing. Depends on what your goal is. If you want to try and win Season 2, just develop your car until it's number 1. If you want to play it safe, you can make a front wing, rear wing, and well, underfloor, front wing, rear wing. Maybe do a second rushed edition, and then start researching, because it is a long season, and for the second season you do get an extra 3 months to get things done, so you have a lot more time. So feel free to make 2 iterations of every part even before you start researching, because you do have that extreme amount of extra time to play with. Battling with Merc for P3? That is fine. As I said, you can make 1 iteration, 2 iterations of each piece and still have more than enough time to do research. So it's basically personal preference at that point. Half a second, short lap. I think Magnus is still safe. We're gonna have to send Gio out again though. And hopefully we can make this work. It would be nice to have it in Q3 here in Monaco. There we go, the cars are leaving. Let's see how we end up here with these rains. Oh, Mag might actually be... Ah, Mag is safe. Unfortunately, yeah, about 4/10 off Q3 here. Currently battling Merc for P3. How far have you gotten, Parno? Hello, Altian. Good evening, good morning. Depending on where you are in the world. Could be both. Yeah, unfortunately, Giovinazzi here did not make it through. He'll have to fresh tires for Monaco. Although that isn't the biggest concern, really, is it? Just having fresh softs. It's track position.
Radio check.
Radio's good.
Looks like we might get a butt-ass roadblock, but I was mistaken, we're safe. Silverstone. Okay. See, we will be setting up Magnussen for one more run on the fresh. See where we can actually qualify him here. Leclerc got held up, which is just honestly very realistic. Leclerc and Monaco is never a good combination. I'm just focusing a little bit on getting Magnussen out at the correct time, then I'll go back to Chad. There we are. Race 15 out of 22. Decent gap with Merc. Okay. I think you got that covered. Unless, you know, you bin it a lot. That's not a good quality from Magnussen, honestly. 7th. We've had better. Let's see if we can make something out of it during the race here. Leclerc did pull himself together, though, and take 3rd place.
Race day has arrived and the time has come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel.
Haas proved quite resourceful during qualifying. That puts them in a very good position.
Did we, though? We're quite resourceful. 7th and, what, 13th? 12th? I have to disagree with you there. Yeah, let's have a quick look at what we can expect here. The thing is, we're going to be stuck behind people no matter what we do, really. So I'd say probably not the best choice. 5/10 between, well, 5/10 up to mediums and another 5/10 up to the softs. So even the softs here will last for 20 laps and be quicker than the hards. But then again, this is Monaco. We would prefer a one-stopper. Time for the most exciting Grand Prix? Yeah. To be fair though, for the... I call this more... the older fans of F1, I can see it. I think starting on mediums and going hard is probably the best choice here. Because we probably won't be making up many places anyways. Doing any extra pit stops won't really help either because we can't really pass reliably. So doing something like this is honestly the best thing we can hope for. See if we get some overtakes in the beginning. A little bit of overfuel. And that should hopefully potentially help us get us a little bit of an advantage in the beginning. If we have a lot of soft runners, it could also be quite fun. But we shall see what we actually end up with there in the race. I think everything is ready. Let's go.
We have beautiful. It's time for one of the most exciting races in the world. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Yeah. Well, if you stand in Monaco and make a mistake, you're basically gonna end up in the wall. So, I understand it.
Let's just get into a rhythm.
Had an opportunity there to get Sainz, but he got us back.
Just keep concentrating.
Gio is
Good
where he
job.
started. Well, technically Magnussen is too. Looks like he is.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
He ain't no F122 online driver, that for sure. He didn't send it. Gio has lost out to Norris. There are a lot of soft runners though.
With a great overtake.
So this is going to be a bit interesting. And maybe I put Gio on Haas just to basically hold up the cars that are going to pit early. Can't win so wide, yeah. It's also kind of hard to, you know, add extra, you know, just expand the Monaco racetrack. Virtually impossible. But yeah, not the greatest start. Gio lost that once. He also drove straight through that wall. That is one way to make yourself some more room. But yeah, he is actually kind of trying to challenge Norris here. Not in the, like, the place I would expect him to. But he did get the move done. Now it's Russell. Lewis wins by 22 seconds, George is 6th.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
I don't think it's only because it's Monaco. I think it's on the race calendar because they pay big bills to the FIA. Well, to Formula 1. I don't actually know who they pay, like, the race fees to. Because I'm pretty sure some tracks actually pay to stay on the calendar. Russell, are you actually falling behind Hamilton here? Well, you are on hards, are you not? Yeah, you're on hards, that makes sense. Yeah. dollar bill, y'all. Honestly, that is a lot of it, though.
DRS is enabled.
Science 2 is kind of getting left behind here. Oh. I would love if we could close the gap to the cars in front, honestly. Here got the hard runner. Good, can put him to neutral. Magnussen still has some energy to use. Probably doesn't. It's probably just me being stupid. But if one place in the world would do like pay to keep the track on. Unfortunately, Matty, the setup you were giving me had a couple of stats outside of the parameters. So unfortunately did not match up completely. Which team are you playing as? Aggressive and K-Max tires? We could. Could help us get by lines
Got some
potentially.
margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Copy that.
But we'll see now if Gio can actually, close down to Hamilton again. Because Russell was holding us up quite harshly here. They'd lose out on ERS though, so it might be a bit difficult. We'll tune down the tire usage, turn them aggressive once we get a bit more energy. 16.4, so a bit closer to where we should be.
Charge on.
Copy that.
But yeah, if it was like one other than these, like the tracks in the Middle East, I would assume Monaco might pay to stay on the calendar because I believe the ruling family is big on F1 of the Principality. Isn't that what it's called? The mini state. You just gain a huge gap.
Charge off.
Copy that.
See if we can use DRS here on the main straight just to catch up this lap, and we'll try and push next. Yeah, Gio isn't really catching up either, kind of got left behind. But we have left Russell behind, so that is a positive. And I think till we get into attacking position, we'll speed things a little bit up here. Magnus also is being kind of pressured by Ocon. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I was probably not. I should probably have fact checked that one, to be fair. So that's on me. Don't worry, Poke. Let's see here if we're still lacking energy. That's the problem. And to be fair, Science is technically faster than us still. So sticking behind him isn't the worst thing we can do. Can we stick to him even if we're unbalanced though? Yeah, Gio is like falling behind in 11th. But Russell is falling further behind him again. Yeah. Don't worry about it. I think what we're gonna have to do is try and jump Science in the pits. I think that is our best bet, even though that's also risky because of the longer pit stops we have. So we might actually need to jump him, then pit. Be safe. We shall see. Push a bit of fuel again. We are kind of almost falling behind here. And honestly, if we lose DRS's signs, I don't see us catching up. Close enough to turn down to balance again. Push. See if we can leave Ocon behind. Would be nice. Again, get a little bit of a gap to the cars further back. Again, we're leaving Gio kind of here to run his own race. Should probably put him on balance though. Mainly because Gio can't really catch up to cars in front. Russell held him up a bit too long. But the gap to Russell is looking nice already. We just have to keep an eye on Magnussen. Do our best to keep within DRS. But yeah, this Ferrari is slightly quicker than us. So if we want to keep up, we're going to have to either burn fuel or burn tire. One of the two. And he is actually catching up to the cars in front now because their softs are starting to give in. See, their softs are on about 50. But yeah, we've burned an extra bit of tire wear due to the fact that we are pushing fuel. So that is something we also need to keep in mind. Push it to about another... and not a little bit. Because potentially here, if we can just stick with the DRS train here, Bottas should be holding signs up at this stage. And that should be enough for us to just chill. Kinda behind them without getting left behind, hopefully. But we will see over the next few laps here. We are also lacking in energy too, and maybe should overfuel a bit more. Looks like this might just work. But with this, we're going to be fighting for, again, 5th place most likely. And for the AI to keep those hards alive if they pit within the next couple of laps, that's going to be a challenge for them. Who did we lap there? Tsunoda? Tsunami? Tsunami now enforcing the Williams of Stroll. But that means that we should be coming up on Schumacher soon. Well, Verstappen is coming up on Schumacher soon. A couple of corners. Still a few laps out though. And if I were Verstappen, I'd be scared. But he should be pitting before he runs into Schumacher, so he should be safe. Magnussen got left behind, but I don't think we can really push it too hard. Yes, did he get left behind? It's kind of a 50-50 at this stage. Well, you made it standard. Hopefully the cancel police doesn't come and catch me because I'm calling Tsunoda Tsunami. Okay, so first pit stop happening. Verstappen came out in 3rd still. I'd say he's still pretty safe. Other sufferers are pitting. Ocon, sorry, not Ocon. Alonso, Bottas, Gasly, Hamilton, Norris. So here's the big question: Do we weaponize Giovinazzi? That's pretty good, Maddie, honestly. Torrential rain. We can't really push these tires. They're gonna be extremely broken if we do, so... Well, now we're just gonna have to live with this, but then Alonso did beat the roadblock of ours, Giovinazzi. So, it's gonna be rough here. Gonna be rough for sure. Bottas is the one we really want to beat, though, and he is currently behind Giovinazzi. And Giovinazzi will be slower than Magnussen, so the longer he's stuck back there, the happier I'm gonna be. For instance, Magnussen 17.3, Giovinazzi 17.7. So even if Bottas is on fresh tires and was in at P5, because he's currently being held up, we might be able to make something last year. I blasted. $150 laps in the rain. It is raining forever. Yeah, as long as Gio has Bottas behind, we're gonna have him stay out a little bit longer, just to keep him as a roadblock. Because I don't see Gio ending up in the points here, unfortunately. So we're basically gonna be playing Gio for Magnussen's sake, coming out 10th. That would be behind in theory. Let's see. Pit stops there were estimated to be how long again? 22 seconds approximately. And to see. So we need 40 seconds to these boys. I don't think we're getting that even if we try hard. So I think we're gonna pit onto the hard. And in the meanwhile, we're gonna have Gio do something a bit cheekier in this section because I don't think they're gonna be able to overtake even if we tune him down. So let's see if the roadblock strategy is actually gonna work here. Gio did lose out to Russell, but Bottas is the main one that we wanna, you know, hold up. Magnus with 3.3 second
It's a
stop.
race position
Just slightly too
gained
slow.
for a Mercedes.
Unfortunately. With that, I think we get Gio in for his pit stop now. Have him push. But yeah, if I'd done one more lap, we might have made it work. But then again, Bottas has already overtaken Gio. I blessed it. Yeah. Sorry, I said hi. I said hi earlier, but I just said so hello. Reflex side you. My apologies. Did we get stuck there behind someone? Nah, we're good. So time-wise now, everyone is on hards. We do have a potential advantage in front of us. If we overtake Bottas now while he's stuck behind Russell, that would be huge, honestly. Because that would mean we could place ourselves in between them for when Russell pits. It's also going to be a bit of a challenge. I think we're going to have to use energy, keep up, and then see if we can get the overtake done. But we might have just, yeah, too little energy to make that work. Conserve fuel, could do. Problem is we now have an Ocon 2 in the mix. Could conserve the fuel to get that back. Let's just see if we keep up. Gio running in 16th. Again, he's gonna not be having a good race here. Started a bit too far back. Main concern is once, yeah, there we go. Once Bottas overtakes Russell, and if he runs away, we're never gonna see him again. But we should be able to get enough speed in with DRS to get Russell, I think. Nope, apparently not. So yeah, I don't think we're seeing Bottas again. I need to be the one that did what Bottas did. We wanted to get a better position, but Russell will need to pit. There we go. Maybe, maybe not. We shall see.
Haas with an
So the
overtake.
question now is, how long can Russell hold up Ocon? Because we are already gapped more than enough there. And what will the lap time looking like in the near future? Last lap was a little less than a tenth slower than Bottas. This one is about the same, so we're losing out very, very slightly. So we need to push either tires or fuel to catch up. But again, I think by the time we catch up, our tires or our fuel will be so gone that it won't be a point. So for now, I think we just maintain, and we're probably going to be happy with this position. Quality is just that strong here. Because again, our car is lacking in low speed corners, and that is basically what Monaco is. One big low speed corner. Gio has caught up to Norris and Vettel, so potentially we could try and do some pushing here. He also has a lot of energy, so Paris in the mix maybe could make something work, but doesn't look like it. It's a bit too slow out of those corners still. Magnussen, 8 seconds down to Ocon. Actually running a bit quicker right now, but still gonna be difficult, I think. So we shall speed things up. See where we actually end up here. Again, Monaco is kind of a crapshoot. Our car isn't really built for it. That's just how it be sometimes. We are slowly catching up to Bottas though, as you see. 4 seconds not too long ago. 3.4, 3.3, 3.5, 3.6. It seems a bit undecided. We might need to do a little bit of saving here for the last few laps, but for now it's still okay. He opened 13th, just one car ahead of him, so we should be able to take Norris at least. Go on meds and aggressive. The problem with going on meds is that we have so many cars to get through. And even if we pit, we do come out potentially behind Russell. And going on meds too would mean that we would need to save more fuel, because going aggressive does use slightly more fuel than you regain. Hello, NLR, sorry. DC Willie? I'm glad. Feel free to ask anything if you have any questions. Sorry for butchering your name several times. Yeah, honestly, I'm happy with the 7th place here. That's the thing, DRN. We could always gamble, but I feel like it isn't worth it. They are on old hards though, so like the idea isn't bad. Just can we make up for it in pace? And again, 7th place is not a lot of points, so it could also be fun just to test. So let's go attack this fuel for a couple of laps, and we'll see how it looks then. Because if we can be safe of Russell, sorry, we will be safe of Russell. Yeah. Italian Jesus is not having a good time. He still needs to get stronger. Okay, last lap 15.4. Not a lot quicker than the others. Equal CFD. Since there's so few laps left too, what we could do instead of going in mediums, suggestion was we put in a medium stint here. Well, that was a few laps ago. Aggressive. And as you can see, the aggressive stint would actually potentially be slower. What is better on overtake on race start? ERS, overtake, or deploy? Overtake means that they will mainly be using ERS to get past the other cars. Deploy means they will use it whenever they want to, basically, to improve lap time. So, yeah, the thing is, we're going to need 3 overtakes for sure. And it's going to be a bit of a challenge. If we go on, say, softs instead, I want to have a look at. It is theoretically faster. That's the thing too, by 4 seconds. Pit stop here is 22 seconds. If you factor that in, lap time will be like the whole race time. Well, the pit stop is factored in, isn't it? I believe it is. So it should theoretically be faster. But it's still gonna be rough for Magnussen. He's gonna need to do 3 overtakes just to get where he is. And then another 10 seconds up to Bottas. So if you take that into consideration, I probably just wasted a lot of tire for nothing. Because even if we pit, we'll have a interesting thing happen, yeah? But we will have to catch up to where Bottas is. And 4 overtakes as well. It's going to be a little bit too much to ask for 20 laps Monaco in our current car. But yeah. Basically, overtake ERS is they use a lot of energy to try and overtake. Deploy ERS, they use the ERS more. They use it a bit more sparingly, but they use it across the entire track. So, it helps a lot more on lap times. That is the main difference between the 2 modes. But if you're stuck behind another car, deploy will barely give you anything. Risk of a Geo? Thing is, if we pick Geo, he's gonna come out behind Schumacher. That's already 5 positions to make up. It's just not gonna happen, unfortunately. It could give Gio a little bit of leveling though, which honestly isn't bad. So putting Gio on the strategy just to, again, get him to do some overtakes to level his braking would potentially benefit us. Because if he finishes 13th or 20th, doesn't really matter to us, it's the same. Go with full wets. Yeah. The thing though now that is scary is that we might get a safety car because we have placed Gio practically behind the Schumacher. Gio and Latifi, that is the GOAT team. Depends on your definition of GOAT, but now we have Gio versus Schumacher. And Gio is by. Are we going to see a Schumacher lockup? Sorry, no, Gio isn't by. I'm not playing Aston, I'm playing Haas. So yeah, Gio couldn't get Schumacher there. Unfortunately. Did Hamid just bumfucked Alonso? Am I gonna need context for that one? Other question is, can he catch up the Rick as well? Judging by this, it looks like he can. And lap time's 15.1. He's still slower than Verstappen Perez, but he was stuck behind someone. There we go. Gio with fastest lap. Italian Jesus wins again. 14 blank. So if this was Magnussen, probably could run 14, 13, 13 sevens maybe. But it would still not be enough, I think. To regain the the loss from pit stop in 10, 15 laps, and then 5 laps to get the overtakes and catching up done. So it's a bit of a rough challenge for him. Fifth underfloor sounds like a bit of an overkill, to be honest.
Haas with an overtake there. Here's
Give a
the
nasty bit of an
replay.
overtake.
Now just focus on the Haas.
Went straight into Alonso. Well, as long as it isn't the, you know, the bowling, I think you can be happy. As long as you don't have a certified bowling incident. This might actually have worked out a little bit better for Gio if he did it a bit earlier, because right now he's flying. And seeing that, potentially it could have also worked out for Magnussen. But I was just a bit too worried. Even more overkill with Charles Leclerc? Yeah. P13-14 with no
Haas
safety
with an
car.
overtake.
Singapore 2008. I think you jinxed yourself, partner, when you wish for Tsunoda to not bin it earlier to keep your leader on the Merc. The game was just like, nah, can't help you there, mate.
We need to save some fuel because we're not going to finish.
There's that little bit of fuel we need. So, yeah. Basically finishing where we started isn't the greatest, but it's not the worst either. Can go full attack for the last couple laps here for Gio. See if he can do some more magic, get some more overtaking done. Because he's basically inside of show at this point. Sadly, we don't really have any energy to push on this straight. And it looks like they're running side by side, unfortunately. The Rex can get quite wild in this game, I'll be honest. Just beating out Bernard. So we got back to where we were, basically.
Checkered flag.
With Gio. 7 for Magnussen is not the worst race ever.
Yeah, Kevin, you did an awesome job.
Yeah, in Monaco, it's rough for our car. We don't have low speed cornering, if I remember. And a trash at that. 1-2 from Red Bull. They are probably still going to be dominating this season. Ferrari 3rd and 5th. Alonso somehow between them. And Bottas 6th. As 7th. Ocon 8th. And 9 and 10th for the Mercedes. They are going to be even angrier than, well, I would be. With this though, Perez does push Magnussen down to 3rd in the championship. Leclerc moves up 1, Bottas moves up 1. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the 10-point system either, Blasted, I'll be honest. So I'm looking forward to getting into the like save file thingy where you can change things. Because it seemed like you can actually add random events that actually give you downgrades, slow you down a bit. So it would be funny to just sit around and mess around with that for a few hours. I might do that after the stream actually, but we'll see. I'll have a lot of free time tomorrow, so I'll try and get myself a bit more acquainted with it, because it should really help out to make the game more interesting. Ferrari here moves up 2. We get pushed down 1. Mercedes get pushed down 1 as well. But we still maintain a little bit of a lead. We'll see how this goes. But again, Red Bull having 250 points in second after 7 races. Yeah, they're going to be dominating this season. And in honor of Jack, we remembered Felipe Drugovich. Magnussen gets a point. Honestly, I would prefer Giovinazzi to get one, so we might actually have Magnussen to do training. I failed the qualifying position and qualifying position streak, because we qualified 7th instead of 6th. That's on me. We can live with that. Let's see, what do we want? Honestly, get more cornering on you. And some more braking on Drugovich. And it was a difficult race. Okay. We might disagree a little bit there. But we are getting underfloor side pods after Baku here. That shall be good. We're getting side pods now, but we still need time to manufacture them. The thing. And even if we rush, no way we're getting it done in 2 days. So we're going to be making 4. Rush, it's going to cost a little bit extra money, but again, there's one thing we have, it is money. And I just need to have a quick look here. We made 1 chassis, 2 side pods, going to be 2 underfloors. So okay, underfloor and side pods is what we made 2 of. And anyone remember what I used safety time on? I think I've used it on suspension. And maybe now on side pods. So next is going to be chassis. Okay. Let us get a front wing, I guess, out there. Can help us a little bit with our low speed cornering issue. Because again, our stats are looking more and more like a midfield car this season. I'm not allowed to do that. Low speed performance. We're gonna need it. Even still gonna be a small improvement on high speed, so I can live with this. Bit of an improvement across the board. Very good. 10s, get 5 engineers on it, and it shall be done in 42 days. Yeah, that should be good. The underfloor coming in a week. Again, won't have it for Canada. We'll have both the upgrades after Canada. To be fair, side floors, so we'll have 4 Canada, but the underfloor is going to have to wait. We'll also get to Silverstone. We're going to have some fun times. Let's see, race prep. 2-3, 1 driver. Again, challenges is just a bit too, let's be a bit more careful. It just unfortunately still lacks a bit of skill to get into Q3. We need to get us breaking up, then it'll be good. Let's head over to Baku.
Hello from Baku, where we're looking forward to a weekend of racing among the medieval and the modern, here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
You made him puncture and crash? Did you really go crash? That's some desperation setting in. See, that should be the car parts. Yep. Next is, again, I think we're going to sacrifice a little bit of Magnussen's for Drogovic. A soul for a soul. Jesus. Let's see. Poor Tsunami is just getting binned on purpose this time. I hope you invested into proper crash seats in your car. I think we're good. Assimilate. He made 5 safety car laps. Sounds like he might have just won you P3 in the championship. Looks good. It doesn't look good because I forgot we have at least one. No, we don't have a side pod for this, do we? If we have one, then the game is on some interesting stuff. Because it should be for next race, yeah? I'm just double checking because I start doubting myself. Yeah, it'll be for next race. And the side pod will actually be quite a sizable update, but as you can see here, for this race, with the upgrades the others have brought, we are currently 16th. 8th. In low speed cornering. Well, I guess we're... Yeah. So, that's gonna suck a lot. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of an interesting race here. Hopefully we can make something out of it. But if not, we are going to get some upgrades in a few races time. Hello, Stylus. Yeah, I'm good now. I had a surgery due to me basically being a zombie in December. Having no energy for anything. But a surgery to fix it. Surgery didn't really go complete after plan. Need a new one in February. But I'm back now, and I will be trying to record and stream a bit more regularly. So I'm good now. Verstappen binned it. Is it more than 18 points then? Are you going to be a very, very happy camper?
Radio check.
Thank you.
See what we can do here in Baku, because our car is apparently very, very bad right now. 2.1 second gap with Leclerc behind. $25 now? Gio being almost a second slower than his teammate around this track is concerning, but I would assume he got blocked. I was indeed looking at chat. This kind of hints to us needing to send him out again. I'll see how this goes. Oh no, it's Charles Leclerc with a chair. Did not improve, okay. I don't think Verstappen is going to stay down here. We're going to sacrifice a fresh pair. Magnussen should be safe. But Gio is a different matter here. Oh, Alonso binned it too. He might actually have...
I think that was a crash.
Gio just barely struggling to stay in.
Let's see what happened there. Now watch this. Here's Alonso.
He binned it again.
A definite collision there. That's very unfortunate.
Alonso opened the carousel there, Jesus. So, remember how you said, Parno, a soul for a soul? The game might have taken that a bit literally. You sacrificed Tsunoda. And in return, the game took Verstappen. We'll see how that plays out for you.
Radio check, Kev.
But I am feeling like this is going to be a very, very rough race. Again, our car is garbage right now. So, limiters have worked. The air has developed a bit more aggressive maybe than they usually do. But I don't see Gio getting out of this one, so I'm wondering if it's better to save tires. Because what we could do here is be a bit of an asshat and send Gio out to block people. Like if we send Gio out now, like right now, I think he will block some people. Might be a bit too early though. Oh yeah, we sent Gio out a bit too early there. Didn't block a single
See
soul.
you back here.
That's good though. That would actually be kind of underhanded. Yeah, unfortunate. I might just get another set of penalties for Gio. Get that out of the way. Shall see.
Radio check, Kevin.
Radio's good.
So far, yeah. Looks like the restrictions are doing what we want them to do. Oh, never mind. Looks like Magnussen potentially also taking some penalties this race.
Let's have a look. Now just focus on the Haas.
And I think it's another case of Verstappen. Sorry, not Verstappen. Magnussen sees Alonso doing something
That crash is terrible news for the team.
and deciding that it looks like a fun time.
The team are really disappointed.
Because that, with the speed he hit, should be a deleted gearbox. Sorry, not deleted gearbox, deleted engine to release. Maybe even a gearbox. Terminal chassis damage. We're gonna have to build that man a new car. Doesn't Grosjean drive something something else right now? But yeah, we crashed out there with Magnussen.
Tension continues to...
IndyCar, yeah. To be fair though, it would be funny if you could get drivers from what's happening? Are you going mad? Well, you did trade a soul for a soul. You should know that the monkey paw curls. He bowled the win. That's unfortunate. But yeah, Magnussen did destroy another engine there. This one was basically 90%, now it's 58. Seeing that our car in the current moment is fairly weak, I'm thinking that we take the penalties here, and we do this this race as kind of a write-off. Because the ERS is damaged too. We are definitely going to need a new one. Get an extra gearbox just to be safe as well. Take the penalties here. Might as well do the same here for Giovinazzi. Seeing that he is already starting behind. And this should give him a, you know, a deep enough gear set that we don't have any, you know, problems with gearboxes running out for him at least. Until the end of the season, he'll have 6 gearboxes, 5 engines for ERSs. So, that should be okay. Still got 12-point gain from Merck. That's good. But yeah, we are going to be using extra, taking the penalties here to help ourselves out. 22-second pit lane, pretty short. Degradation here is pretty harsh, but again, we did do the impossible here last year. Again, 7/10, about 15 laps to medium. And to hard on the other hand, with, what would it be? 1.3? 8? Again, about 15-16 laps. Medium to hard, another 6/10, 15 laps with 400 degradation a lap. So, we'll see exactly what we do here. But we do have fresh tires for both the boys. Like, Magnussen even has 3 sets. So we could start him on softs. Try and make our way up the field. And put together some sort of a 2-stopper. Soft to hard could work too. These are not the softs we want to run on. But I'm thinking that potentially we do... Again, they should last 10-15 laps before they start to degrade. Again, most of their life cycle. Something like this, maybe? Good work, 17 laps. Basically split it in 3. There we are. And as you can see, it should be fairly quicker than the 1-stoppers. It will just depend on whether we can get by cars, which, since our car is weak right now, could actually be kind of a challenge. There we go. Soft, medium, soft. Strategy for both. 2-stoppers. And this should also probably help Giovinazzi a little bit with leveling. We'll see. Let's get into the race. And as said, we'll be starting from the back row. We have taken penalties.
Day for the race. Here we go with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Lights out, away we go. Magnussen starts ahead of Gio. Then we have the 2 Williams cars. And in terms of the field there is actually 2 soft runners, Verstappen, Leclerc, Bottas, and Ocon. We have Norris and Vettel also running the softs. The rest of the field are all running mediums. But yeah, the fact that we're struggling to catch up to Williams gives you a little bit of a hint at where we're at with the current tires. Honestly, overfueling is good that we didn't, because that would degrade them even quicker, and we kind of need a little bit of extra life on these tires. Ben Magnussen is immediately going to make a move on Stroll. We're going to extend it to Tsunoda? Nah. So we'll see if we can fight our way back up into the points here.
That's one.
And personally, I'm hoping we can, but we shall see. I think we'll speed things a little bit up here. Gio has also made his way past Stroll. Magnussen got Tsunoda. So we want to keep on climbing while we can, mainly before DRS starts. Once the rest starts, it's going to be a bit more difficult. Magnussen is fighting Vettel.
Haas with an
Going a bit
overtake
back and
there.
forth here.
Let's take a closer look. Now just focus on the Haas.
Gets him into the corner. Then Vettel
There
comes
they
back.
go, moving up a position in the pack.
And then they fight a little bit back and forth. Very good. But yeah, now it's the scary part. Schumacher. Got him as well. Tuning Magnussen down a little bit. He's basically out of energy.
Got DRS.
Same here for Giovinazzi. But yeah, we'll see, as I said, how high we can climb up with the current car. Currently we're on Albon. Got him. Now it's catching up to the next DRS race in front of us.
For Alfa Romeo.
But honestly, Magnussen is doing a very, very good job. Giovinazzi got re-overtaken by Vettel. Which is going to be a bit rough. I say Magnussen is doing well. At this rate, we might actually get back up into the points. It'll mostly be the tie, though, making the work. So maybe I was a little bit too quick there on giving Magnussen the penalties too. Gio is kind of struggling though, not really getting anything done. I need to recharge him a bit. Give him overtake. But with Albon almost falling out of DRS here, it might be possible for Gio to get something done in the following couple of laps. Magnussen there, getting past Alonso, to help with DRS. To be fair, we both did. Gio did get Albon, now it's Vettel. And let's just speed things a little bit along here. Again, it's just a very long DRS train. It goes all the way up to Russell. So we'll see. If Show gets kind of left behind, we might be able to do something, but it's again a difficult situation. And I think we might do a little bit of recharging and see if we can catch up to cars in front and then overtake. But unfortunately, Alonso took advantage immediately.
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
That is unfortunate. Yeah, our car just isn't currently in a good thing. Good position. Gio got overtaken by Schumacher. Kind of tells you all we need. So we do need that underfloor upgrade. We do need to get that side pod on the car. And that should help us out a bit. Unfortunately, the move failed again. Yeah, this is basically what I kind of expected. Us probably ending up just outside the points. But it's still looking promising, honestly. Can maybe push it a little bit before the pit stop. That would be amazing. But right now, it looks to be a tall order, honestly. Gio is up into 16th, though. We'll see if he can hunt us down. Looking like this, he potentially can. We shall see exactly how that plays out. For now, Magnussen in 14th. The cars in front of us all pitted. Magnussen now has a little bit of fresh air. I think that means we go aggressive. And we try and push here to our pit stop. Gain a little bit on the cars in front. Starters. but also that we can get away from the cars behind. They all went on hards, so they are not going to be pitting again. So if we can push here to the point where we just stay ahead of them, that would be good. But it's still going to be a bit of a challenge here. We are catching up on the train in front of us, though. I will say that. Might need to pull a Gio here and have him, you know, slow down the cars behind. We shall see.
Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Schumacher still playing with Giovinazzi, but Gio immediately got him back.
Is that a new race
And
position for
now we have
Haas?
Leclerc, Verstappen pitting. Some of the other in the tops are pitting. We got by all of them, which honestly isn't super good. But we are still running faster lap times than the boys who pitted for hards. So as long as we do that, I am happy with just leaving Magnussen out like this. And again, he has fresh air to work with, so there's no need to pit unless the lap times start getting bad compared to the cars around us. Same for Gio, he can probably push a little bit.
Let's just put our head down.
Let's have Gio go full attack and we'll get him in first. Because I think that's for the best. He will come out far back, but then again, Gio isn't really... The goal isn't really to get him into the points. We want to get him into experience, so to speak. Vettel did overtake Magnussen. I think Magnussen is going to have one more lap and then we pit him too. Go full attack. And Gio is now in the pit. And let's see how long he takes to pit. 28 seconds. Okay. That was a bit longer than we were advertised. But it's okay. He actually came out ahead of where he was advertised. Let's get Magnussen on the medium. And looks like we are going to be coming out. Probably not in the greatest position ever. Yeah, we lost out at these last couple of laps. So I don't think we're beating Rick, unfortunately. And we actually came out behind them, which is kind of what we didn't want. If I pitted a lap earlier, we actually would have been safe, I think. So that's me being a bit too greedy on the current tires.
Haas with an overtake there.
The battle went on hards. Everyone who has pitted so far has gone on the hards. We're the only exception. So I guess everyone is doing the one-stopper again. So we still have potential to make something happen. But again, it's going to depend on how quickly we get through these DRS trains. So might need to micromanage Magnussen again to make this happen. Then again, we do have a worse car this time out, impressively enough. Sainz is now pitting too. That, I believe, is the last of the top 10. Ah, sorry, there's a bunch of medium runners still. Yeah, I'm thinking we have Magnussen just probably go recharge. Because I think he's being blocked by Vettel and Show ahead.
Haas with an overtake.
Let us see here what we can do. Magnussen is still recharging. Two-man DRS right now in front. I think that is an opportunity. We'll give him the overtake here. See if he can get something done now in the first straight. Got one. Can he get the number 2 as well? I think that was a bit too much to hope for. But I think we'll get Show now on the next straight. If he doesn't have DRS to train in front. And that'll be the important part. The medium runs are now also starting to pit. And it does look like Show did indeed get DRS from the cars in front. And he actually got Rick too with that DRS. Yeah, a rough one, honestly. Hopefully Canada would be a bit better, but after Canada we're getting Underfloor, and that's going to help us out a ton. Rick already fell out of DRS though. What rating do I think Magnus is? FM Manager 23?
Is that a new race
Honestly,
position for Haas?
I don't know. It'll depend on how good his braking is, I guess. But yeah, I'm hoping they make a change to the rating system, honestly. I'm looking forward to see what they set Hulkenberg as, though. I'll be honest. I don't know what they will put Magnussen on. Feel a bit of extra energy to get past that show. Well, let's see if we can hunt down the DRS train in front. We finally have a little bit of clean air. Gio still needs a little bit more hunt to get there. But Magnus is already at the next DRS train. Hulkenberg going to be 81. Hulkenberg should be higher than Magnussen. Again, it seems like they take the last few races when they made the estimations for score points. But again, I hope the rating system is a little bit more varied and robust the next one. Because, like, as I said, one of my biggest complaints is that every driver is the same. Because the way they did ratings. Can we get Gasly and then Alonso? Because we kind of need to... We don't really have a lot of laps here to play with to get ahead. So that was a failed attack. What I need here is Gasly to be close to Alonso, so that we can both attack Alonso. That will help me out. Magnus has been in front of Hulkenberg in 2 out of 3 races. Let us see here what we can do. Gio has caught up to another DRS train, but he is also kind of in trouble. Let's give him a little bit extra fuel to push with. See if that gives him a little bit extra oomph to get by. But yeah, our car is just a bit lacking right now, so we don't really have what it takes to push by the cars in front. Unfortunately. We got overtaken.
Haas with an overtake there.
F1 Manager 22 released a career with 23 mod. Did use all of our ERS there, so Alonso's probably going to get us back, fortunately. But he is potentially outside of DRS. We shall see here. I'll have to see what I can do. Again, I need to have a look at the database manager, see what it can do. Okay, so Alonso does not have DRS, but we do not have energy, so I don't know if that will be enough. Get him aggressive here, see if we can move up a couple of places. I'm surprised that we haven't had any safety cars so far.
Okay, Kev, no management required, so push as much as you can.
Copy that.
Also just park in the middle of the track, making it difficult to overtake. I think 3 races is a bit too early to start judging the drivers too hard. Give them a bit more of the season before we...
Haas with an overtake.
They're judging too harshly. Okay, we got by Alonso, now it's Gasly. Again, these tires will last to the end. So we'll see how that plays out. 11 races in. I don't even need that many. Basically 7 or 8 is when you start to see it, but thing too is there's gonna be a couple of upgrades and we'll see how they handle them. Hello, dog. It's stuck for a little bit too long, and we should probably recharge some energy. We aren't there. Yeah, though, it's climbing.
Perfect. Let's get back
It's
up
good.
to pace.
Copy.
See, how are we looking lap time versus Joe? Half a second quicker, but then again, they're now gonna have Geo pushing them off. Yeah, I might need you to deploy and run away from the cars behind you. Magnussen fighting Alonso. I know what we're used to. But yeah, I was surprised that our car was actually this weak in the second season. I thought it would be a lot stronger. Gio is still making moves happen, which is good, honestly. We kind of want him to trade back and forth so we can level him. Magnus is good. We can just leave him to do his own thing. But when we end up pitting again, we're actually going to end up pretty far behind. So unfortunately there isn't a big stretch in the field. Next race, final week of this month. So around the 30th of April.
Okay,
Yeah, the week 28th to 30th.
Copy.
So it's going to be another 3 weeks, basically a spring break. We are getting a bit of a stretch here, so could still make something work here, potentially.
Push as much as you can.
I prefer to use overtake at the start, and it seems to be pretty reliable at gaining 1 or 2 positions on the first lap. Just make sure that you turn it off before you run out of ERS, because if you don't have ERS, you're going to lose a little bit of lap time. Baku a bit earlier than usual. That might be interesting. You should come out basically almost dead last, yeah. This is going to be a bit of an interesting one.
Box.
We've just spent too much time in this race stuck behind others. But honestly, before this, we weren't too far off the upper points, if you will. But not much we can do about it. We'll get Gio in on this next lap. Him to onto a fresh softs. Sorry, we want him to push.
Box now.
Put that back to neutral.
Copy box.
And we'll see now how high can Magnussen climb in these next 16 laps. The soft should be quicker for most of its life cycle here. Is it quick enough that we make up a pit stop and get up into potentially the points there? F4 Manager 20 with 3 mod, I want with new ratings. I'll probably have a look, but that said, I'm probably going to use the Python save game repacker, where you can change that as you see fit. Apparently you also have some interesting stuff with randomizers, and you can make random events. So, I'm looking forward to having a look more in depth into that, honestly. But if you feel free to link the mod, like I'll have a look at that one too. It's just that I am a bit slow. I have maybe a little bit too much on my plate at the moment. Okay, 3 purple sectors, 47 blank. 4-second gain on the cars in front to Hamilton and Russell, 2-second gain. And to get back up there, we're gonna need 20 seconds. So if he keeps that up, 10 laps. But again, the challenge here is going to be the overtaking parts, which we are currently on. Let's see if you can... don't own the mod, but you said you can give it away. You can also just message me with Discord if you want. Don't really celebrate Easter myself, but I'm just gonna relax for the most part. Aren't we this much slower than the Aston on old hards? Ah, there we go. Now we get a safety car, which honestly could help us out. Okay. It's game time. Safety car, we just pitted for fresh softs.
Sounds like there's been
Can
a
we
crash.
jump someone in the pit lane? Paris is out. Alonso pitted. We did not jump Alonso, but we are further up. And Alonso is on fresh softs. So yeah, this is actually a good one for us. This could be good, honestly. Depends on how long the safety car is, though. Because right now we're kind of struggling to catch up to it. Let's see. Bottas in potential podium. Lapped cars may now overtake. Okay, so we just barely made it.
So overtake is available if you need it.
Got it.
Guess GO2 may barely make it. Could be, I guess, one more safety car lap. Yep. But yeah, once again, safety car might actually help us out here. And we do have fastest lap right now. Alonso might snatch it. But if we're lucky, we might be able to get Magnussen at least in the points here.
Safety car is in this lap.
Safety car is in.
Copy.
We shall just have everything on balance until we cross the timing line. It seems to be the better way of doing things. I'm looking forward to these next 10 laps.
Margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Copy that.
Do you have any plans, Thomas, for Easter? Are you also just gonna chill?
Okay, safety car is in this lap. Safety car is in.
Confirm.
Okay, we have the restart. Overtake, push fuel. See if we can make something happen here. And again, the quicker we make things happen, the better, because DRS. And we immediately get the move done on Alonso. That is actually huge, unless he comes back at us here because we're stuck behind the Alpha. He will. Luckily for us, the straight ended before he finished his move. Poor Yuki. Leclerc just crashed at Magnussen, and yeah, he got it back.
Alpine just advanced.
Fortunately, didn't get out of that corner very well either. That is unfortunate. Gio, 14th. We'll have to see if we can actually force him into the points too. Shall see. Just a shame that Alonso's kind of a roadblock right now. If you can make something happen here on the straight. Also, Gio should be able to get a show. Because, well, maybe not. He also shows also on fresh softs. But I definitely need Alonso to either get overtaken or overtake the car in front. Is the Alpine as fast as I can make it look? Probably. Why do you give up there? I believe the Red Bulls are undisputed number 1 right now in the current save. But we can have a look after and see how the Alpines actually are. Because right now Magnussen is struggling. But I'm kind of surprised that Alonso hasn't made moves to overtake Vettel yet. Oh, never mind. That is one way to overtake.
Haas with an overtake there.
Well, we are technically in the points.
Who's that just crashed?
Safety car, safety car.
I feel like we were just Kimi at Imola right there. Honestly. Alonso is still in the running though, so he just killed Vettel. This is the law behind Vettel's retirement, I guess. But yeah, I asked and you know, the monkey paw curls, that sort of thing. And Vettel and oh, what? What just happened? Verstappen, Leclerc, Ocon, Bottas, Norris, Alonso all pitted? Excusez-moi? Are there really any fingers left on this monkey paw? So we have Sainz, Russell, Hamilton, Gasly. Again, our car is very bad at this track currently. We are 16th in low speed cornering. So, this is going to be an interesting one. Oh, almost overtook Gasly under safety car. And tire-wise, we are still looking pretty okay. Like, we're not the best. They even didn't go to fresh softs. They went to scrub softs. They're barely better than us. Why did every team get a Ferrari strategist for this one? I don't get this. Gio to block cars? We could have Gio just run normally, yeah. But honestly, I think I want to try and get Gio up too. Because we should have tire advantage, and we do have some soft runners here that could potentially block them. There aren't too many laps either. So I'm kind of tempted to try and see how high we can get both of them. If I push the tires, they'll still be above 40. Difficult to say, honestly. We can actually check though. Game gives you the capability. So if we push tires, let's see. We're currently there. I don't think they would be above 40, but I think it's worth it to go aggressive, probably for the first couple of laps after the restart. We are at least going to be pushing fuel for the entirety of the time. I just still can't get over the fact that we had,
Safety
you
car
know,
in this
the
lap.
bottling.
Safety car in this lap.
Copy.
Kev, if you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Copy.
Like Alonso and Vettel, I still can't get over
No
that.
more lift and coast.
Copy.
But yeah.
Charge off.
Copy that.
Everyone ahead of us is old tires. Well, old
Okay, the
hards.
safety car is going in for
Our
stop
tires
and
should
has
be
the back.
better, but need to keep in mind that we do have a problem here potentially with just the car not being good enough. So we'll give Magnussen a chance first. If we need be, we'll have Gio do the blocking. But right now it looks like Gio is...
required, so push as much as you can.
Copy that.
Sorry, that's actually Magnussen. I don't know why I thought it was Gio. He is attacking. He might get 2 here immediately. You bastard, Hamilton.
You're
If
doing
he
a good
hadn't
job.
weaved there to protect, we would actually be by. And he might actually get by even so. Okay, Gio, it's your turn.
Haas with an overtake.
Oh. Are you doing another double?
Okay, good
3
job,
in the
that's one.
corner? Magnussen, you mad lad. Let Magnussen cook? I'm afraid. This man, I letting him cook? He saw victory and took 4 cars in,
Haas
what?
moved up the field.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners. Well, 4 corners technically.
Copy.
And he's already outside of DRS too. So we can focus Gio, we'll let Magnussen just cook. And I'll let Gio cook, yeah. Well, if Gio cooked like a wall hit, that would be sad.
Good job.
We shall let Gio cook. In the meantime, I'll quickly change the stream description in honor of Magnussen.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
The question is, will we be able to get the other lad up and running too? Because Magnus is currently running away, even as is. So this is gonna be interesting. Can't DM me? Are you DMing me on Discord or Cook the French GP? Yeah, Magnussen is just doing the exact same thing he did last year here. And Gio is doing it too. It's also just that strong. Although running into someone would... doesn't matter what you have. I'm just getting K-Mag a gap here. Once the ERS is about 50%, I'm going to tune him down.
With an overtake there.
But Gio is cooking. And he's cooking good. But this was basically, to some degree, just handed to us, I feel.
Great job on that.
Now I just need to get Gio a gap too. Okay, I'll have a look afterwards, Mikkel, sorry. I was about to call you Magnus. Gio is cooking like an Italian chef. Okay, so we're outside of DRS. I'm gonna tune down this one just to be safe. 5 laps to go. We have plenty of tire life. We can go a little bit more aggressive. But keeping out of DRS from Russell is going to be the main concern. And if we can pull that off, I think we're good. It's okay, I'm Danish. I'm Danish, so it's a compliment. Essentially. But yeah, this is looking good. We'll have to see what we do with Gio though. But even if we push the
DRS
tires, she should last to the end. It'll just be what is
5 laps
quicker.
remaining.
I just deploy a little bit more ERS, get a little bit more of a gap going. But Mag is looking good right now. Gio is also looking good. Concerner is Sainz and Russell cooking together and using that to close the gap. But I think we push to the end. From New Zealand, to your international audience. Isn't it like 4 AM in New Zealand? That's dedication, Dark. I'm impressed. 5 AM maybe? Let's put it into neutral. Should probably have had a little bit more energy, to be fair. But right now Gio has 3.5 seconds. If you can just maintain that, we'll be happy. We will be cooking. But this was basically like a gift of Sanders. And we have Schumacher holding up Verstappen. Okay, so we did use a bit too much energy on, you know, pushing ahead. So hopefully we can have Gio recharge some here. But with the gap down, I think we can
4 laps remaining.
tune down tire usage, and we'll just tune it up if it starts to get
Okay, back off.
smaller.
Copy.
8 a.m. Yeah, 8 p.m. Is it 8 in Denmark? Isn't it 7:40? Or is my clock wrong? Because you should be on the same time as me in Norway, shouldn't you? My phone just told me that I'm live on, on YouTube. Thank you. I didn't know. Four hours to 0? Yeah. Yeah, it's 1940 here too. Mikkel might just be living 20 minutes in the future. I understand what you mean. We're just teasing you. But yeah, it's looking very, very promising. 4.5 second gap. This just feels like a rerun of Baku, except for Gio is doing well. And the worst thing is we took penalties for this race on both of our drivers. I'm impressed, Doug, honestly. That is dedication. Yeah, at the current stage, I think we can speed things up. We'll just keep an eye and see if Russell and Sainz start catching down. But if Verstappen and Leclerc end up outside of the points due to basically Ferrari strategy, I'm gonna be a bit impressed. Multi 1-2 the drivers let Gio win. Should we give Gio his first race win? Win for Italian Jesus? Honestly, right now Magnussen is kind of high up in the standings, so in that regard, it wouldn't be a good idea. Then again, we could get a miracle here.
2 laps to go.
I don't even know if we can slow down Magnussen enough to make it happen. Kind of Jesus are reincarnated a bit before, a bit early. If we do this, how much time do we lose to Gio? Because Gio is still gaining on the cars behind. Main concern I have is, even with these two, and maybe even this, we won't slow down enough for Gio to catch up. Because as you can see, Magnussen is still running almost a second faster than he is. But I think, honestly, in this situation, handing the win over probably would be in bad taste too. Resurrect. It's only fair. He might catch up. If Gio catches up on the final lap, I'll give him the win.
Starting final lap.
Give him a bit more of an aggressive burn. Go on, Gio. I've given you everything now. It's in your hands. Mick is defending like a lion. Yeah, he's even moved himself further up. Unfortunately, I don't think it was enough to get Gio the win there. It was a little bit too late out.
Checkered flag.
Guys, man, I can't believe
But
this.
still, 1-2.
You did an awesome job.
That is not bad.
Okay, checkered flag, checkered flag.
Make P9, yeah. And again, Ferrari strategy. I think we had 5 cars, top 5 cars, hit out of the points. And to be fair, Mick has been pretty good this season. First race in Bahrain takes out Verstappen. And, well, gives us a win there. But yeah, the Verstappen, Leclerc, Ocon, Bottas, the fact that they all pitted and did this, and the fact that we did almost lost to first. Magnussen started 19th, Giovinazzi started 20th. Is quite amazing. Although the safety car did kind of make this happen for us. Commentary is usually pretty flat. It's pretty basic, like they can praise you even for like a 9-10. Same as they would a race win. But 1-2, that is very, very good for us. Sainz though did kind of help Ferrari out a little bit for third. Fourth and seventh here for the Mercs. Show in 15th at Aston Martin is quite impressive. Big W for Aston, yeah. By Lewis, the Kevin goes to Merc. Rick in 6th. Gasly and Albon scores point for Alpha. And we have Schumacher in 9th, surprisingly enough too. So yeah. Yeah, and Romales, we qualified extremely poorly. Giovinazzi qualified 14th. Magnussen crashed out in Q3. So I decided that since we have currently a very weak car, and we need more components for later, we're going to take penalties. And then that is the race we get a 1-2 due to, let's say, interesting pit stops from the guys that challenged us. Perez crashed out too, which caused our safety car, which is the best part of this. Perez crashed out, caused the first safety car. Alonso took out... Alonso actually is in the points too. Alonso took out... Sorry, not... Wait a minute. I'm looking at the wrong page. Where is he? There he is. Alonso took out Vettel for us. Second safety car. So, that was quite interesting. Honestly. The fact that there's 3 points between Leclerc, Sainz, and Hamilton is mad. But yeah, we gain a lot here on Verstappen. Just 24 points behind now. Perez falls down a position as a result. Giovinazzi moves up to 10th. Basically doubling his points so far. And yeah, I liked this race a lot. It was a bit of surprising, but I'll take it. 91 F1 stream? Yeah. Currently though, I have this Haas project and the Latifi Stroll project going, so... Again, there's also a lot of time to the next game. It comes in August. 4 months, so I'll probably end up touching mods down the line. Don't worry. With this though, we move up back into second place. We're still far behind the Red Bulls though, even though they magically managed to find themselves outside of the points this race. And Aston Martin then moves up. Mick having scored now. How many has he scored? Well, he's only scored 3 of their 11 points. The show picked up a lot of them. But yeah, that was a good race. But yeah, the surprising part is probably going to be our car, because it's not very good. We also have to pay out driver bonuses, which I can accept. And we didn't do a good qualifying performance, which I can also accept. But yeah, our car at this current stage is not very pretty to look at. 15 low speed, 11 medium. Yeah, we are lacking a bit, but it seems to be pretty... Like, the cars are pretty close this season, honestly, too. This is the Red Bull, which is number 1 in everything, but high-speed corners. And as you can see, we aren't super far behind. I say, we are slightly behind, particularly in dirty air. But I think we're going to get a lot closer this season, especially once we get the new underfloor going. So with that in mind, we'll be getting 1 upgrade ready for next race. And after that, we'll be getting the underfloor. The design has been completed, but again, 2 days till the race. No way we're getting them in time. Oh yeah, Alpine, sorry, I forgot. That was really when we were going for car analysis. There we are. Alpine has a fairly strong car. We can compare it to the Red Bull, for instance, the best car. And as you can see, they're a bit closer than we are. They are good on the low speed corners. They are the second team after Red Bull. Medium speed, high speed. They probably have the second or third best car on the grid right now, honestly. So keep that in mind. It's actually quite the they've done quite a good job. So I'm looking forward to it. The cars have been changing a lot, like rating wise. Now, hello Kieran. Call in top speed. Hi, I'm Mason Ricardo. Been a while. Yeah, I am back. Aston Martin. That car though, yeah, because Showman is 5th. See where they stand. They're actually beating us in low speed cornering, but that is really all the car has got going for it, as you can see. And I think that is what helped them, because at Baku, low speed cornering is actually quite impressive. Yeah, I think we're going to continue. We do have an upgrade coming for Canada. Low speed downforce is actually quite important. Your engine cooling is not good? No. The only effect that we currently theorize engine cooling has would be lower engine cooling equal higher engine wear. But again, you can just buy as many engines as you want. So sacrificing engine cooling for your other stats is more than worth it. It's not something you need to be worried about. Why don't you show a free agent? I believe he's driving for Aston, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he just finished 5th for Aston. Let's have a look here. Yeah. Aston Martin driver. Finished 5th last race in Baku. Memorabilia room in poor condition. We can live with that, I think. And performance targets for Canada. I think both drivers should be able to reach Q2. Unfortunately, I still don't think Italian Jesus, even if you got that P2, is going to do it. So we'll be a bit conservative with it. But then again, we have 118 million, so we don't really need to be worried. Rugovic has a development point? Yeah, but unless I decide to use him, it's not super important to chuck it in there, but I can do it for you. Brings him up to 84 braking. What I'm more hoping for is good old Gio here to get more development points. We can up his braking to tolerable level. Get this up to 80, 85, and he'll be a much, much better driver. And then he will probably be fighting for podiums a lot more often. Before we go to Canada though, we do have one upgrade that we have been manufacturing. It is a side pod, and by looks of things, we only have managed to make one. Braking is the most important stat, yeah. And after that, it's the other two pace stats. Personal opinion. But just pure pace, it's those two. The control stat does help a bit with lockups and accidents. But generally, if you have the pace to, you know, outgun those accidents to begin with, you'll be flying. And if you don't have the pace stats, it doesn't really matter, because you won't be up there anyways, even if you don't lock up or crash. Yeah. Well, basically, let's have a quick look here. Driver stats. Racecraft. Again, I don't feel like these stats matter too much, honestly. If you have the pace to get up to them, you'll usually have the pace to get by them. So, ratings are related to drivers' ability to maintain raw pace around a circuit. Pace is for the race too. It's basically how quickly they can go around the track. And you can easily check this by just taking a driver with the same stats, setting braking lower, and you'll see that he does drastically worse than others. Racecraft is basically just how effectively you can overtake others, fight against others. So pace is your speed, but this is how quickly you can get by other people. So it doesn't matter if your racecraft is amazing if you don't have the opportunity to get up to them to begin with. So I'm not saying racecraft is bad. I'm just saying that in my personal opinion, pace is the most important thing. And within pace, braking, and then the other two stats. And after that, you can start, I would start worrying about control and accuracy mainly. And after that, it's honestly personal preference. Adaptability, for instance, is just wet tracks. And being on the wrong tires to some degree, so no biggie there. You aren't necessarily wrong, Blasted. It's just, again, preference. Pace 1, consistency 2, racecraft 3. Well, the one consistent stat everyone can just ignore is basically just smoothness. Tested is 50 smoothness versus 100. It is basically 2 extra laps on a stint. So, it's again, I would rather have 50 smoothness and 100 braking rather than 50 braking and 100 smoothness. But yeah, that's a whole different bowl of fish. We do have to start a new project though. I kind of forget about that. We will be making a new chassis, purely because we want to use our ATR period on that. So we'll be making a rear wing. Next ATR period actually starts in 3 days, so that works. I'm wondering if we do want to make a low speed performance. Just to try and help us out there a little bit with what we are lacking. But before we do that, let's go and put that side pod on our car so we can actually see how we stack up right now. Because we are going to get a side pod, we are going to get an underfloor, and that will shake things up, shake things up a little bit. So this side pod alone is going to put us into quite quick for the acceleration. It's going to help us a little bit with the low speed cornering we're missing. But again, we are going to be missing more in terms of stats. So we are going to be suffering. New project, rear wing. But what I'm figuring out this second season is that the focus on... wow, this doesn't actually improve us that much. Using ATR, wind tunnel time on your rear wing, your front wing, and your underfloor is probably what gives you the biggest performance gains. So if you don't do that, you get to actually slow down quite a bit compared to the AI. Because we have been so far this season losing out. So I'm thinking we stick with this for this season. No ATR for underfloor, rear wing, front wing. And we see if we actually end up losing the race in terms of gains there. But this will make us quite competitive in the speed department. It's just if I want to do low speed or high speed. If I do high speed, we're going to suffer in the low speed department again. And I think we're gonna need that. So we'll take low speed, it'll improve everything, just not high speed as much. Thank you, Mikkel. I shall have a look at it once I'm done. It's a bit hard to just jump over and have a look at something else right now. Yeah, we're gonna make that rear wing, low speed. Might be a little bit too much of a focus on low speed, but it should still be okay. Let's head on to the next race.
Formula One is back in Montreal.
Let's see if we can make something happen here. Put on the damaged parts. Really wish there was a way to make practice presets. Press E, Kieran. It's E on my keyboard. It might be something else in yours, but I haven't rebounded, so I would assume it's E. On everyone else but 35 seconds rounds? That is pretty good. Looks good. What's the same, Kieran? Because it should actually be a hotkey that tells you what, like on the bottom of the screen, it should tell you what key it is if it's something else. But it basically gives you the relative numbers. For instance, since every team has 2 cars, third place is actually second, fifth place is actually third, seventh place is fourth, ninth place is fifth, like on an on-team basis. So you need to keep that in mind. So it can be a bit confusing the first time you have a look at it, but once you get used to those numbers, you'll start to automatically convert them in your head. I think this should be okay for Canada. And once again, let's put Rugovic in for K-Mag. Seems to be the lucky star. And with that, let's get through practice here. Orland is mental. What has he done this time? Is he carrying a city on his back? Honestly, what we want to do too is nab something from Jesus. Gonna take the side pod and put it on the power Magnussen. It's a bit rude, but again, Magnussen is our top contender for victory, so we are gonna go ahead and do that. Are they playing right now, by the way? Is that enough? I might be going the wrong way. A brace? What? And Holland is just having fun, basically. I didn't want to manage practice. I want to simulate. Southampton are 23 points, yeah. Bicycle kick? Is it a contender for goal of the season?
We return for the next day of our...
P5, P7? Where did you get that, Yano? Yano? Pano? I don't know why I called you Yano. And the Mercs with only 1 point? That should help you out quite a bit then, right? Could be really beneficial for you. Rainy Belgium. Sounds like you took advantage of the bad weather. Yeah, I think you got that in bag. Okay. I feel like bicycle kicks are just like to serve extra points due to just straight up flair. And because I never learned to land properly when I did them, so I would always get the air knocked out of me. But I did score a few doing that while in my younger days. Good flexibility to get contact with the ball though. Well, I managed to kick myself in the face once doing that, so I don't know if flexibility is something you really want. It's like ages ago, like 15 years ago. When I was very, very young, playing football for the local, like, team. Kids team.
Radio check.
Radio's good.
Liverpool versus Arsenal tomorrow. That should be a bit entertaining. You are hyper flexible. That's not something you want to say online. But I believe you. Looks like Gio is kind of in a struggle here already. Honka can go flat out of Poon. Your arms aren't straight like they actually bend. Yeah, it's called a elbow. I'm just joking with you. Gio is gonna have to go out again here. That's just how weak our current car is, especially since I nabbed the side pods out of his hands. Yeah, Kieran. Just taking it as a joke. There are a lot of people who are flexible, yeah. It's just a joke, more or less, from Dark Side of the Internet. But don't worry about it. You are perfectly fine the way you are. You didn't actually make it out of Q1. That is sad. That is very sad. That sounds honestly a bit worrisome. I hope you're fine. Arsenal haven't got the best record at Anfield, but we're different this year. This year is our year. Is that it? With Jesus back.
Ready to check, Kev.
Did you hire Italian
is good.
Jesus as assistant coach? Yeah. There are some people though, Kieran, that are hyper flexible. Like yourself. So I wouldn't worry too much. I'd like to see more track evolution, honestly. But I think they got a good base to work with the way how grip works. I just would like to see a bit more evolution in quali, because track grip levels just stay constant for the most part. Making Q2, damn. Yeah, at the cost of our Lord and Savior, Italian Jesus. It's literally because Gio has very, very low braking at 70. That's just how important it is. That's how much impact it gives you. I think Magnussen is safe, so we're gonna gamble here. He is safe. Good question, honestly. I haven't really paid attention to that. Italian Jesus blessing
Richard,
before
Kevin.
Easter Sunday.
It is good.
But yeah, I'd like to see a bit more track evolution, a bit more aggressive one. That you can actually take advantage of it, because right now it's there, but it's not super aggressive. I would like to see, because again, the grip kind of goes up towards the end of a race, but you don't really see too many changes in quali. Like if it rains, the track loses all grip, which is understandable, and then it slowly builds up again. So, is it implemented? Yeah. Is it implemented well? It's there, and as many of the other things in this game, it can get better. There's no evolution because my drive is always slow at the second run. Yeah. P7 for Magnussen. Not the best. 200s behind Russell. But yeah, I'm really hoping we get a bit more competitive with the underfloor.
It's race day.
Okay, what strategy do we want to employ here? A very short pit lane at 19 seconds. Decent chance for a safety car. Just a 9-second pit stop with a safety car. Compound performance. With the degradation on the softs, they'll be quicker for about 15 laps than the mediums, then I'll start losing out. And to the hards, they'll be quicker for approximately the same time, around 15. Medium to hard, though, is a whooping 20 laps, so I think we're going to do soft, medium again, maybe. We shall see. One stoppers are preferred, but two stoppers are probably quicker. So let's see if we can pull something together here. First and foremost, soft start stint, then we go into the medium. We finish soft. And let us see here. We can make something work with this. Like so, 129. In theory, both of these strategies are pit stop slower. That'll depend on if we can overtake and, you know, get in front, get into free air. So we shall give it a go. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Even so, I think we will be fairly okay with it. I think this is what we did for the other one. How is Perez's reaction stat, Maddie? Because that apparently has something to do with it. I think that's good. Let's see, he's pitting lap 24, then 48. Okay, so we're one off there. Get the same timings. There we are. Now they are on the same strategy. And Since we do have a little bit extra to go, we should give them a bit extra fuel. I'm overfueling in this race slightly, but I've decided I'm going to try and avoid it. Basically, I'm allowed to 1 lap overfueling maximum, because it is rather strong. There's no other way around it. It's a strong strategy. Weight isn't super important in this game, so you can just maximum overfuel, run the entire race, and have pretty big time gains. Fortunately. Yeah, I think we're ready. Let's start the race.
I hope I'm not tempting. This is it. We're moments
Yeah, I hope
away
you're not
now
tempting fate
at the
too,
Canadian
and I hope I
Grand
checked the
Prix.
weather and didn't see any rain.
It's lights
Since
out,
you mentioned
and
tempting
away we
fate.
go.
That we're good. Okay. Magnussen into a kind of good rhythm already. Maybe lost out a little bit to Russell. Both Ferraris and Russell running side by side. Leclerc here on old hards, Norris on old hards. Otherwise, the rest of the top 10 are running mediums. 3 soft runners in the bottom, including Gio. But mainly, most of them are here on mediums, so we'll see how that plays out for him. Gio is already trying to move up a little bit.
Haas with an overtake.
No, you don't need to underfuel, Mikkel. The way weight is calculated in this game is virtually non-existent. So you actually gain race time by overfueling and running push, like massively. So you can gain massive amounts of time during a race by just overfueling your cars. What start I'm using? Push plus overtake. Usually, if I'm starting at the front, I use push plus deploy. Overfuel 100 kilograms. You can overfuel 110, I think. Some tracks you are going to start with 110, but honestly, overfueling maximum isn't necessarily a bad thing. Keep Paris for one more yet? Yeah. Claire is being a little bit annoying, but we shall get by. One way or another. Gio is doing the best he can down here. He has made up 1 place. Schumacher behind him though is scary. And Verstappen has already broken the DRS too, so that just tells you how strong the current Red Bull is. I haven't gotten around to the Canadian Challenge yet, Ricardo. It's due to this Haas game is actually the precursor. I'm playing with a bunch of restrictions to see what would actually make an entertaining game. And I heard a thud behind me. We have a safety car. Multiple cars crashed. Okay. I haven't gotten through to that yet, Ricardo. Simply because I'm using this to
There's
test.
been contact and several cars involved. We can take a look now.
Is it the
Now we
Williams?
see the Williams here.
Okay, so they were the source of the thud.
You can clearly see
Which
the
is
contact
unfortunate.
there, and that caused a lot of damage.
So yeah, I'm just testing what restrictions actually make the game enjoyable over several seasons. And I'll be using that. This is the basis. Sounds like a good plan, Matty. Yeah, the Canadian Challenge is basically Stroll and Latifi and Williams. But I felt that wasn't difficult enough, so I'm gonna add some restrictions to make it a bit harder, and that is why I'm doing this Haas save. Because I wanted to test it. Every other time I place restrictions in any way, shape, or form, it just hasn't been enough. But yeah, since the safety car, we can speed things up. Tsunoda is unfortunately out. Stroll took out his teammate. A tale as old as time. Stroll should kick it, Latifi's ass, to be fair. He has a better starting point, and I think he also has a better growth multiplier.
Safety car in this lap.
So, that should explain why he usually will be better.
Off.
Copy.
Since we did have a safety car though, I think it's fine for
If
us
you've
to
got some margin,
run
try to increase the pace a little bit.
aggressive for the next couple of laps and see if we can make our way
No
past the
management
cars in
required,
front.
So push as much as you can.
Copy that.
Okay, safety car is in this lap. Safety car is
Yeah.
Yeah, copy.
Doesn't he also have braking in the 60s? If I remember. Kind of struggling here to get actually by Leclerc, which is kind of understandable.
Is that a
Leclerc
new
might
race
actually get
position for
Russell.
Haas?
Giovinazzi's making moves. We'd like to see that. Get a double overtake. Hope you have good brakes there, lad.
doing great.
For a second there, I saw Magnussen on the grass.
Haas with an overtake there.
I was worried.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now,
Three safety
just
cars in
focus
Canadian
on the
GP?
Haas.
Yeah. Honestly, the closer the field is packed, the more safety cars you're going to have. Simply purely due to... Yeah, Leclerc got Russell. Now hopefully we can get Russell too. For DRS, once DRS comes, we're going to tune down the tyre usage again. But Gio's doing good work. After all, he's also running a weaker car than Magnussen is. No safety cars at Monaco? None so far? Up to Monaco though, it should be fairly safe. But once you hit Baku, you're probably gonna have a couple.
Good job there.
Yeah, still making moves. My favorite drive this season, I'm enjoying Alonso a lot, like unreasonably. It's fun to just watch him, and particularly whenever something happens, it's just he immediately knows how to fix it. Singapore is probably where most chaos happens, yeah. That and Abu Dhabi, honestly. Tune down tire usage again. Because I think we're catching up to, yeah, the people who started on the softs. Russell is being a bit annoying.
And DRS is enabled.
And we
DRS
are also
enabled.
kind of running out of energy too, so we're gonna have to tune down ERS usage. They are blocking us fairly well. You just got the safety car. He's evil and knows it. Russell with DRS didn't actually catch up to Leclerc and the cars in front. That is worrisome. Around the 90 mark. I think it's 92, 94. 0 point, of
Okay,
course.
Good job. You'll get back on it. Your pace was excellent.
So it isn't super bad. Need to do. I kind of forgot to use ERS there. He's gonna suffer.
DRS.
Same here for Magnussen, really. Looked like a second then, like Norris was trying to kill Alonso. I would use overtake out of safety car, yeah, because there's 2 laps where people can't use DRS, and if you can get by them and get a better position in DRS train, that is definitely worth using overtake. Magnus is just struggling here with Russell. Maybe we get the move done here? No? We do again have the worst car, so it's not really surprising that we're struggling to get by. But we're really going for the drive side by side. Here we have DRS though, so that is carrying us along.
Okay, so we're P6.
Question now is, do we have enough pace to catch up to the top teams here? And personally, I would have to say no. I don't think we do. P3 and P7 for Sandwart, that is respectable. Looks like you're having a good time there, Barno, for beating out Merc. Yeah, Gio is doing really well, honestly. Because again, Magnussen has to upgrade more than Gio does. And it looks like he is still gaining. Although, let's see here. We were fighting Russell for most of this lap. Gaining slightly on the cars in front, so... if we keep this up, we might catch up to the DRS train. And that would honestly be the best case scenario. Catch up to the DRS train in front and get a little bit extra pull. But yeah, Gio is doing a good job. And honestly, I think we're at the point in the race where we can just speed things along. Magnussen catches up, great. If he doesn't, we'll just have to live with it. We don't really have anything extra we can push. We could push tires, but then again, it's very, very close to the gap we have. And we are going to be burning it a bit more frequent than this due to pushing the engine. So, we'll have to see. Hopefully these guys do something that create a little bit of a gap. And that way we can catch up and latch on DRS-wise. Gio is still good. He's in a DRS train of his own. Not much he can do there. Just have to wait for an opportunity to attack. And we are getting closer to the cars in front. So, it's looking good. I think we are within DRS for this straight. We should be. Yeah, Magnussen got DRS on the cars in front. And also set the fastest lap while doing so. Big question here though is are we going to get ahead? Because we're kind of going to have to. Even if we stay with them right now, the gaps here aren't really that huge. With 12 laps into the race, we're going to be pitting by lap 24. Pit stop is 19 seconds. So, at this rate, when we pit, we're just going to barely come out ahead of, say, Vettel. So, that too is a bit of a concern. And that leads me to believe that potentially here, the reason why we've been doing well is probably... okay, they're actually not that bad. 68% is not great, but it's not terrible. This is terrible for Paris. Nice Leclerc, looking good. Okay. They aren't that bad engine-wise, so... that is a bit of a surprise. But hopefully we can get a bit more stretch in the field. Particularly, again, because we are doing the double pit stop. So, we need to try and not have a million overtakes that we need to do. With the way that we're placed, though, we can probably, you know, recharge some energy for both our lads. And potentially use that to jump the train set. Probably not Gio, though. He is actually getting into a risky zone. Magnussen, too, immediately started falling harshly behind. I am rooting for Aston because I am playing Aston. I'm rooting for Aston because Alonso, number one. But also because the massive jump they've done. And kind of fun seeing that most of their parts are actually Merc parts that they basically on aero has been able to potentially become quick for them. You will root for Seb. That is fair. I think most people would root for Seb. But yeah, Alonso is just pulling it along here at DRS train of virtually every other car except for poor Albon and Stroll. And that is a bit of a concern, honestly. So let's see if we can get a little bit upwards here. Might be bad. We might just need to save energy. because there are 5 cars ahead of us again. Well, 4 cars with DRS in this DRS train ahead of us. And that makes it incredibly difficult to overtake. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where Aston ends up this season. If the other teams are going to be able to bring upgrades to, you know, take back the throne, so to speak. Or if they are going to have some more interesting. Yeah, I was a bit surprised, particularly here in Canada, just how close the field is. We're 20 laps in, and except for Albon, who fell off the DRS train, and Stroll, who crashed into his teammate, Alonso's been keeping this field together, and this field has also mostly been kept together. And it scares me, honestly, because we kind of need to push either that or stay out here. Oh, Perez off track with Russell. Somehow Magnussen saved it.
See what happened there. We're just watching
Yeah.
the Red Bull. What a spin out!
That almost looked like the Verstappen spin in Hungary. Like he was almost ready to just continue there. But that does help Magnussen. Like now he just has 1 car with DRS, 1 car without it ahead of him. The Ferraris. So potentially here we could try and push for an overtake, but at this point it's not really... Yeah, it's not really worth it. If we can just stay with the Ferraris until we pit, I think we're gonna have to be content with that. But again, it's gonna be difficult.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
There aren't too many people that are going to be pitting. The Ferraris are going to be pitting, so we could try and jump them, basically. And I think we will. We'll try and jump the Ferraris on this pit stop. But as I've said, we are also going to be pitting twice. They're most likely going to be doing a 1-stopper. So there's a couple of things to think about here. Gio, on the other hand, we don't really need to think. We can just pit him. He'll be coming out in tons of fresh air after he pits. So that is good. Won't be in a DRS train anymore, but it should be quicker than the DRS train, so it won't really matter. And I think we can live with that. But yeah, I'm surprised just how close the field has been this race. It usually doesn't happen. So we are the only ones that are pitting. Magnussen comes out, you know, behind the pack. You'd expect Gio comes out behind the pack too. But Magnussen coming out behind the pack is probably going to hurt him quite a bit here. We'll have to see how quickly we manage to work our way through. And how quickly Gio can get back to the pack himself. First time Q3 with Haas F1 Manager 23 mod. First race, I assume you mean? Nah, okay. We have some pit stops happening here. We should be able to jump most of them. Magnussen did jump Sainz. So we did come out ahead of the Ferrari, which is kind of what we wanted. Gio almost came out ahead of Russell. That too is kind of also what we wanted. And if the theory of how the tires works, he should overtake him, and he did. Which is good. Magnussen, are you jumping everyone else that's pitting? Nope. We didn't get Hamilton, but Hamilton was further ahead. We did get both Sainz and Leclerc, though. That is good. Baku? P8, yeah. Honestly, just getting into Q3 is kind of a nice achievement. Ocon pitting, the rest pitting. Ahead of us, I believe only 2 have pitted. Yep. And Vettel is holding up the rest here, so... let's use what little energy we have. And see if we can make a move here happen. Maybe sold it out a bit too early. Sainz is going to come back at us here. Gio is still fighting Russell, but honestly, that is fine with us. If he can make that fight stick, it would benefit us. If we can create a gap here with these hard runners, that could help us out too. But overtaking them would be the best thing, honestly. So we'll see here what we can do. Overtake and run away would be beautiful. And there we are. We are fighting Verstappen, but it's going to be difficult to get the overtake done, for sure. Did get fastest lap, though. Gio up in 7th now. doing a wonderful race, but then again, we are 2 stopping, while the rest are most likely 1 stopping, so gonna be a bit of a concern. Thing here though is if we can save a bit of fuel to do pushing once we go into the final stint, we might be able to do something even if we just stick with them, because it is a short pit lane at 19 seconds. It's also a fairly short track though, so we need to keep that in mind as well. But currently Gio is actually in a position where he's helping us. He is enlarging the gap really. Just barely. But he is. So if he can just stay there, I'd honestly be fairly happy.
Was that a lock up on the track?
We are going to try and charge Magnussen though, but we're going to be ready to go neutral the second he starts dropping far behind. This is it.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Giovinazzi fighting Russell. Russell overtakes him. As long as it's just 1 car, we can be happy, because that should mean that we will re-overtake him pretty soon. Maybe not the first DRS zone, but probably the second one. We shall see. Magnussen up into 2nd now. It's also what we like to see. And if he now can get Verstappen fairly quick and maybe try and pull away, that would be beautiful. Kevin overtake 3 cars. Yeah, he had a bad one for me too at Baku. Like, he overtook 4 cars in 4 corners on the restart. Looks like we might get Verstappen here. And I'm gonna allow Magnussen to push and see if we can get away from Verstappen. Go a little bit aggressive on the tires.
Mega job, mate.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Copy that.
Because if we can get away here, like break the DRS, we might be able to gain a few extra seconds that we need for the second pit stop. That would be beautiful. Magnussen crashed. Well, don't jinx my Magnussen. My Magnussen would never do that to me. Yeah, we'll run aggressive a little bit further. Giovinazzi, honestly, could micromanage him a bit more, but I think he's doing fine here behind Russell. I guess not the worst place we could park him. No DRS though here, which is nice to see, honestly. And again, we just need Magnussen to push, get the gap, maintain the gap, and have Verstappen, Sainz fight, not overtake each other, would honestly be best. He was P4. It is unfortunate, but that is unfortunately the game. It's just how it be sometimes. Let's go standard, tire slightly overheating. It doesn't seem like we're getting the gap we need, unfortunately. So what we might do is micromanage the ERS a little bit here till the next pit stop. Right now, it's looking better. If we can get Russell and Gio to the point where we can pit and come out ahead of them, I'd say we're cooking. You quick sell? No, 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 no. You keep him forever. He's now your boy. Your bestest boy. See if we can win here in Canada. It's going to be a challenge for sure. But currently I think we're looking okay. Like Magnussen is going to be sticking with these boys. We just can't pull away enough. Don't like micromanaging? Nah. Honestly,
That's a new race position for Haas.
my Haas career is going to be only days of time. I don't really micromanage too much. It's just those critical moments. Like, I'm letting Gio mostly run his own thing here because it's a good position to be in. If we micromanage him, we might catch up to Paris and Leclerc. That would make this race like 3 or 4 times longer. Red flag. But yeah, having Gio fight Russell is perfectly fine with our current situation. Also having Verstappen kind of de-wrestle us along works out to our advantage potentially. We just need to save up some fuel. And if we could also save up some energy, that would be great. Get the energy to maximum before we do the second pit stop would work out great once it comes to hunting them down again. Because the tire usage isn't that high right now from the hards, fortunately. So it'll still take a while before they really start dropping up. You can't make strategy, but you can switch tires. Unfortunately, I think it's an oversight, so you can't really see what is best. You kind of have to... Or can you make strategy? I can't even remember. Look in the top right for some buttons. But yeah, you kind of have to try and remember what is the best setup, I think. I am a bit uncertain, though. Theo is kind of having a bad time right now. He's falling back massively. That is not great. How many laps does the soft have as a lifetime? Wait, you're in Baku. 23 laps left. I'm unsure if the softs would survive, honestly. 23 laps. 24. Yeah, the softs probably will not survive. Or they could. The thing is, in Baku, in general, the softs will be quicker for around 15 to 20 laps. So they'll be the quicker tire, but you need to make them last an extra 2-3 laps. So you could go soft light. You could also go aggressive on the softs from the start of the red flag. Well, not aggressive, go standard. And then tune them down as you get to a higher position where you kind of want to be. See here. I need to still harvest some with my... Probably shouldn't harvest while I'm in first. I'm going to need someone to overtake me. Oh. We got a bit of a gap there. I think that means we push aggressive. Option, try hard tires if you need to. The hard tires at Baku are generally not what you want to be on. They'll last, but they'll be slow. So that's the thing. Like, soft tires are 7/10 quicker than mediums, like 1.5 seconds quicker than hards. So it's basically how Magnussen won back-to-back Bakus in my save.
I think there's been a lockup.
Hamilton, Hülkenberg, and Alonso with a battle. That's good. Let's see here. How are we looking? Could potentially consider pitting this lap. So
Is that a new race
let's push one more lap after this, and then we'll get into the pit. And that should bring us out ahead of Norris, which is honestly what we're hoping for. And as long as we get ahead of Norris, we have a chance here, even while we do need to do this extra pit stop. So that is going to be the goal. Go on the fresh soft. And it's expecting us to come out 9th. So could be a bit of a problem here, but I think we should be okay. And Giovinazzi is just spun. That's a bit sad. No damage to the car, though. Can have him to run attack. We'll get him on the soft tire as well. A bit unfortunate.
Now just focus on
yeah, one more red flag. You can definitely just slap on soft. If you have fresh softs, they'll last the entire race done. But yeah, it's unfortunate for Giovinazzi. He was doing well until the spin. But we shall see if he can make something happen there. See, there we have Norris. They're on the back straight. Currently stopping for the pit stop. I think we're good. I would think Magnussen will come out ahead. Will he not? Just barely. There they are.
Okay.
Here comes Magnussen. Yeah, we came out ahead. That is exactly what we wanted for this this stint. Now we have 17 seconds up to the lead. Let's see if we can close it down. Yeah, you should probably go fresh soft. Competitor locked up. Who would that be? Looks like a Ferrari, maybe? Vettel.
Here's the replay. Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one. And yes, that's the lockup.
At least he didn't hit anyone. But yeah, we'll see how this plays out for Magnussen right now. We can push fuel, which we will. And we'll see if we can make it back up. Already gained a second. So 20 laps-ish to go. Let's see if we can make up the time we need here. Gio is also going to try his best. But he's going to have a bit of a harder time. Especially since we didn't tune down his tires in time. So yeah, Magnussen with a 17 blank last lap. 15.8 this time. Gained 2 seconds on Leclerc and Paris. So those should be within striking distance. This is looking good. P9 with Hulkenberg. Started P20s. Okay, yeah. I'd say that's an acceptable result. How are you doing, Parno? Did Merck have another one where they barely gain points? Podium and P6. That's not bad. Very respectable. But yeah, it does look like Magnussen can, if he makes it through the Paris-Leclerc bubble pretty quick, make something happen here. But we have run out of extra push fuel, so this might slow us down a little bit. A crazy Dutch GP? Does crazy entail 4 red flags or something? Gio, on the other hand, is kind of struggling here with Mick and Vettel. But he did get Mick there, then he gets Vettel. Honestly, just tell the man that I believe he's struggling and he just breezes past. Now, the important part here is going to be how quickly can Magnussen overtake the cars in front here. If we can do it immediately, we have a chance of hunting down the others. Are we getting Paris here?
Well done, Kev.
We are. That's what we like to see.
Haas with an overtake.
Trying to one season bring Alonso to VDC. Yeah. I can imagine that would be a fun challenge.
Okay, good job, Kev. That's one.
That's what we like to see from Magnussen. 8 seconds, 13 laps. Can he make the impossible happen? Mick needs to save this race yet again. Honestly, I think Magnussen might have it. Like, he went through those cars a bit quicker than anticipated, so I think we might be good. Hello, Dean. It's going pretty good. Having some fun racing. Magnussen potentially fighting for victory. Unless we screw it up. Gio unfortunately had a spin, put him pretty far back. We'll see if he can get up to this DRS train and make something happen, but it's kind of doubtful. Magnussen is catching up to the leaders by about a second, if not more, per lap, so keep this up, and to the end we should have some fun stuff happening. Tsunami held Hamilton and Verstappen back on fresh soft for like 17 laps. That is pretty hardcore. But yeah, looks like Magnussen could, again, 11 laps, 5 seconds. We could probably chill behind them for a little bit too. Regain ERS if we need to. How to make good qualifying? Your drivers always get in traffic. The way that I qualify is I always send them out on the first run immediately once the qualifying opens. And then I send them out immediately after the last car leaves the pit for the last chance for quali. And that will you might end up with getting some traffic in your first run. Before your second run, unless someone has an accident, you should have clear way. Yeah. Magnussen is now very close to catching up. I forgot about Giovinazzi again. We're focusing a bit too much on K-Mag. Yeah, this is looking good. But generally, as long as you just release the car on the final run, like the last run, if you release your cars last, they will usually have a pretty free way. And the AI usually times it so that they cross the line about a minute to 30 seconds before they before it closes. So you should be good. Let's see it now. Magnussen has caught up to the cars in front. Since we are in the back, we're going to harvest.
Charge on.
We have 7 laps here to play with. We don't need to go super aggressive. As long as we can stay with them, we will generally be happy here. Just get everything set up to get the overtakes done, and that should be good. I'm slowing down time here because I usually have a tendency to fall out of DRS when I am recharging, and also since I'm tuning down tire usage a little bit so that we have more to play with. But yeah, we caught up a bit quicker than I anticipated, so this is looking good. Thanks, Jebben. Hello, Slav. I haven't had a chance yet. Yesterday ended up being way busier than I anticipated. But I have no plans for tomorrow, so I'm thinking of hopping in and having a look before the stream. But it looks interesting for sure. I could make a video on what I'd like to see, honestly, but at this rate, it's basically well known. I just want to have more kind of randomness, have more individuality in the drivers, so that the stats doesn't all work the same on every driver. Have more things like engine management, your own team, new teams, and things like that. But it would be fun to see something like that. Might be well known, but huh? I assume you got having more views can't hurt. Yeah, I would love to have more views, but honestly, I'm again having fun here. If I get more people in chat, I probably wouldn't be able to keep up. I assumed you did. It was just good timing there with the ha. But yeah, we are getting closer now. We have saved our tires a bit.
6 laps remaining.
Again, these hards are running like really low. So we could start to try and get some work done. We are basically fully charged. Put to neutral, put to standard. Have a DRS when we catch up.
Copy that.
Yeah. I like weight to actually fuel weight and like loads times like that. Have the cars be more like individualistic. Have them be different from each other. Because right now every car kind of handles the same too. There's no different tire deg on a Ferrari to a Mercedes to a Red Bull. I'd like to see things like that, for instance. That would be good. Tire slightly overheating. That is a concern. Track is 48 degrees. 48 degrees in Canada. Yikes. Yeah, Geo on fuels. Thank you.
No more lifting coast.
Geo is running a bit further back though, so I've been focusing on Magnussen. 30 degrees out, 48. Why don't people go to Canada for the summer vacations?
5 laps
Look
remaining.
at this. I must be absolutely boiling. Let's see if we can make some moves here, get a little bit further up the pack. Looks like we immediately got one done. Oh, maybe not. Geo's braking has hit just 70. He should be getting another point after this race though. But he did get a P2 last race out in Baku.
Okay, nice work.
You are the... Honestly, it would be great if you could just hand over the control of a driver to... I would be a Twitch extension. Hand over a driver to your viewers. That would actually be kind of amazing. Would they actually survive to the end? I guess he would.
Okay, good job. Now pick up your pace.
Copy.
I think if I use ERS, we might have actually gotten Verstappen. Might even get him even so with braking. Oh. Sainz, that was dangerous. FIA, get him.
4 laps remaining.
Don't forget to kill Kev's tires too. Yeah.
Okay, good job, Kev.
Let's push a little bit, see if we can pull out a DRS. That would be nice to see. We actually have a pretty bad car too, Sloth. That's the funny part.
Haas with an overtake there.
Like, Gio is kind of realistically where we should be. But Magnussen is just making it a bit too wild.
Great job.
Sainz defense, though, on the main straight was something interesting for sure, though. Problem now is that we are kind of running out of everything. Giovinazzi gets show.
Let's take a closer look. Now,
Need to look at
just
Italian
focus on
Jesus
the
too,
Haas.
particularly since it's Easter. That is a good one. Honestly, though, Show would probably be in the... Sorry, not Show. Giovinazzi would probably be in the points, but he did spin. And as I said, Slav, he managed to get a podium in Baku. We basically did the exact same thing we did last year, or last season, where the soft to the end worked delightfully. So Verstappen is still keeping up with us, but Sainz and Hamilton has been left behind.
3 laps remaining.
I don't think Giovinazzi's or Magnussen's tires make it to the end if we push like this. That is my main concern. Could use a little bit of overtake on Gio, but I feel like this part in particular is a waste, so we'll do it on the next one. Well, he had a bad exit, so we're just wasting energy. Or maybe not. Got one. Oh, is it coming back? Yeah, Magnussen is we're not able to leave Verstappen behind, which is a problem.
Good job.
That sounded so patronizing from the man. Reminds me of Matt Pink playing the cars different. Yeah. K-Mag's making you nervous? Yeah. We are running kind of the line here. So we'll see. If Verstappen is catching up, we might just tune it down a bit. And I'm gonna have to probably go for an overtaker towards the end. Because we are losing fuel. So we'll be a little bit blocky here. And then we'll go full attack final lap.
2 laps remaining.
Kind of hard to try and manage Magnus to win while keeping an eye on Gio. It's a bit of a gamble, yeah, but I think as long as we keep it like this, we should be okay. We still have some tire life left, so we can probably turn it up aggressive and then go attack now with the last
Kev,
bit.
if you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little
Got
bit.
plenty of tires in K-Mag, yeah, but the problem is that the degradation is hitting levels where the hards are starting to become faster again. So if we... What happened to Verstappen here? Did he have a really bad corner? Magnussen, give it everything you got. You're running.
Keep pushing.
Run like you stole your car. Tune down to Gio here so he doesn't run out of fuel.
More lifting coast, please.
I was kind of giving up there, unfortunately.
This is the final lap now.
Yeah. I'm just a little bit too used to pushing tires a bit too much and then getting in trouble. But Gerben, yeah, letting Max overtake us potentially could be the play here. If we had, like, say 10% less tire wear, we probably would have had to do that if we wanted to win. But I think we just managed to eke it out right now. I don't know what happened to Verstappen though. He fell behind so abruptly, I feel like. Like he was breathing down our neck and then he wasn't no more. Probably give Gio a full attack too.
We'll catch these guys.
Copy.
I think that's fine with Magnus. I'm going to see if we can maybe squeeze Gio into the points there too. K-Mag give a red flag again? No. It was Hulkenberg? I assume it was, I assume you're right, Sloth. I think it's probably the one that I kind of orchestrated by having him go slow and then go fast. Magnussen wins, Verstappen second. What we would like to see.
Checkered flag.
That is
Man,
what
the car
we
was superb. Really good.
Awesome job, mate.
But yeah. Unfortunately, I think Gio would have been able to keep up with Bottas, maybe even Russell. Because that is where he was running before he started spinning. He was running to a potential Russell finish. Which would have been
Checkered flag.
a nice one,
Good
but
job.
still. A victory is something that we will take home. He took out Gasly too. Who took out who?
Magnussen showing us how it's done. A great result. What a beautiful sight that is on the podium, and a true crowning achievement for everyone involved.
Yeah, Gio was a bit unfortunate with the spin, but he still did a good job. You're not wrong. Yeah, fastest lap as well. We can live with that. Wish Kevin got these results ERL. Yeah. Verstappen second, Sainz third. I do feel like certain things like driver penalties for very aggressive drivers when they make questionable moves might be something that you'd like in game, but it would need to be well done. If we're just randomly handing out penalties, it would get very, very annoying very, very quick. So 2 and 5 from the Red Bull boys, which means that they barely eke us out in terms of points. 5th and 7th for the Mercs. 3rd and 6th for Ferrari. Bottas 8th. 9th for Ocon. 10 for Norris. And unfortunately we had a spin there for Giovinazzi, but if not, he would probably have made it work pretty well. Third championship then. Magnussen is still catching up to Verstappen. Now 16 points behind. And Giovinazzi is still nestled in 10th. Leclerc loses a couple of positions here to his teammate and to Hamilton, which isn't really that surprising. Constructors, as I said, Red Bull gains a little bit more here because we didn't have Gio in the points. Ferrari almost catches up to us as well, but it's looking good, honestly. Magnussen P12 now. Sounds like you're not really having a good time. But yeah, the best thing about this race though is that we're actually getting an underfloor now. And Giovinazzi did get his experience point and he has a 0.94 multiplier. So not the worst in the world, but still not super great. Did have a few failed overtakes though at 55. Magnussen too had a bunch of failed overtakes. Red flag 2 times in 2 races. Are you collecting red flags, man? And we still failed the Q2 quality thing. But hopefully now we'll get the side pod and the underfloor. Hopefully onto the underfloor we're producing, the side pods we're producing, get them onto both cars. First time Magnussen, second time Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg wanted to be like Magnussen. So both your drives caused red flags. Did they crash out? Gannon's contracts end soon, and Regan's contract ends soon. Bergovic's contract ends soon. Giovinazzi's contract ends soon. We'll have a look at this when the season ends, honestly. And Giovinazzi now, another point in braking, up to 71. They're both out, hit the wall. Which track are you at? Singapore? Because there it really wouldn't be that surprising. So let's see, we need suspension, chassis, and front wings. We're actually running out of front wings. So let's get that produced first. 3 more. And I believe that is all like the project width we have. We're already running 3 production things. So we're gonna have to hope that we don't get suspension failures or chassis failures in the next race and practice. Because if so, it's game over for the car. But yeah, this was our current car. We won Canada with this. So if you take this into consideration, you can see that the driver is very important. And the only real difference between Magnussen here and Giovinazzi is just that braking stat. So just from that, we can infer just how important this stat actually is, unfortunately. Baku and Canada. Yeah, those are Canada, though. How did you... That's very unfortunate. We'll go with that. Bit passive. Fastest lap. We have been getting that the last couple of races, so that's fine. And before we go here, we shall upgrade both cars a bit too. We have a side pod that we're going to now be slapping on Gio's car as well. Help us out a bit. And the underfloor here, while not being super good, will make us into a cornering machine. I'm sad now that I made the wings too focus on low speed cornering. I've seen that cutscene in so long. Yeah. But yeah, this makes us into a very, very good cornering car. But again, now we're lacking the high speeds. I guess next season it's focusing on the high speed cornering. I don't know. We'll see. And with this now, our car is looking a lot better. A lot more powerful than it did last time out. Compared to Red Bull, where we're stacking up, not very great, honestly. Red Bull still has a pretty huge advantage. So it's going to be interesting to see how this actually plays out for us. We might need to... I know you can edit it so that the dirty air, for instance, is more effective. Slipstreams are more effective, things like that. So we'll have to see how we do. How important is braking and engine cooling? Okay, so... as you can see on my car, we have some brake cooling. That is mainly due to the fact that I focused brake cooling last season after using both of my development slots. Well, 2 editions of each car. But engine cooling doesn't really do anything. The only thing it might do is make it so that your engine degrades slightly slower. It will never cause an engine failure. So engine cooling is just one of those stats that you don't need to focus on. Brake cooling, on the other hand, is not as important either. If you have lower brake cooling, your drivers might lock up more. But at the same time, if you have enough pace to overcome that, a few lockups is nothing compared to, you know, leading championships. So it's basically, again, where does your priorities lie? Do you want a super fast car that locks up a bit more than others? Or do you want a reliable car? You can also invest in brake cooling. So it's basically that. Then again, you can also focus on brake cooling while you do everything else. It's not really a bad strategy. Switching all sliders to right still works. So it comes down to personal preference, honestly. But it's not really, really important. You want constructors again? Maybe we need to nerf you a little bit, Maddie. But yeah, once the front wing and rear wing comes in too, I might be in trouble because both of these are focusing on low speed cornering. So that's going to be a yikes moment, most likely. We'll see. It's going to be interesting for sure for the rest of the year. But with that in mind, let's head to the British Grand Prix. You're 4 minutes behind on the stream.
We're here in legendary Silverstone, where the
It might be because I had to restart the stream in the beginning, so I apologize. Yeah, you don't really need to, Gerben. It shouldn't be a huge priority. It has never been for me. So, shouldn't be too worried. I don't know why you didn't answer to my messages. I'm sorry, Kieran. I am answering them in the future. But yeah, if anyone else have a stream that might be a little bit further back, it could be because 2 minutes into today's stream, I restarted it due to me not setting it up properly. I needed to tune down from 1080 to 720p because my PC isn't beefy enough for 1080 streaming. Why don't you say mention? Because the engine, ERS, and gearbox part don't really have any effects in practice. It doesn't matter how low they are. They'll still make it through when you sim, or when you do manually for that part. But the lower an engine gets, like this one's 34%, the lower it gets in durability, the more of a performance loss you're going to see. So this engine, which is 95%, will be way faster than this engine, which is 58%. When they start to degrade will depend on your engine manufacturer. So for Red Bull, for instance, who has the fastest engine, it's at 85%, but you don't really begin to see a huge loss until you hit this yellow thing. But as a general rule of thumb, I try to avoid using any engine below 60% for my race and quali runs. I use them mainly just for practice. Press and gearbox don't really see any performance loss until they hit the red or orange, so feel free to use them until that point. Cornering is number 1? Yeah, I think I might have to agree with you there. Cornering plus overfueling makes for a nasty combination. B20, 9-1. That's the wrong 9-1. 11.5. 6. We'll see if we can actually get some points there. Silverstone, that would be good. Maybe for yeah, 2. We'll let Drogovic drive Magnus' car. He is currently a lucky charm on the basis that each time after we switch Drogovic from Giovinazzi's car to Magnus' car, Magnus has won both races. So that is interesting. Pretty good starting point here at 97 and 91. That is something we can live with. Could have found out that trick for one of the reasons you could get points. Yeah, overfueling car is honestly a bit too good, in my opinion. There's no real negatives with it, and it allows you a lot of flexibility at the same time. Yeah, but we tested it. I overfueled a car by 16 kilograms. It had no noticeable impact on race pace. Like, I was doing virtually the same as I was earlier. So you can overfuel your car almost as much as you want. Well, you can actually overfuel it as much as you want. And that way you can push the engine for the entire race and gain a lot of extra race pace. It is broken, unfortunately. They haven't properly, I guess they haven't properly added the weight to the game, which makes it a bit too bonkers. Yeah, underfueling doesn't really help. That's because the weight doesn't really benefit you in any way, shape, or form. Underfueling would only be a way to nerf yourself. There's no benefits to it. You can check out the current limitations in the description. There's a lot of them. Yeah, I also thought engine weight would happen. Weight would have an effect. But we tested it in a stream, and I generally haven't seen anything to, let me know that overfueling, underfueling actually has an effect on lap times, because it unfortunately doesn't seem to have any, and that's a bit sad. That's also why I'd like to see a bit more in the next game individualistic cars. Like you have Ferrari, Red Bull, Merc, they all have different concepts, they all have different setups. A bit like Motorsport, where you invest in your car the season before. And basically different tires, tire degradation, different weight setups. Things that would make it a bit more in-depth and interesting, honestly, generally. We use this a bit more. Yeah. I am the proud person. Yeah. Every time we talk about overfueling, Kieran's nose gets a slightly longer and more proud. Let's see, I think we're ready for quali. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, we have a bunch of limitations. It's made the game more interesting, but we'll see where we stack up now that we got the second underfloor out for this season. We're also gonna get the wings out pretty soon too. And after that, I guess the focus goes back to just cooling. But I'll see, I'm a bit unsure. Okay, we have a moving chicane with the name of Stroll. So far, quality looks good, but we haven't had any one of the big three perform a lap yet. Hamilton beats us out. Verstappen beats us out. Gio looks safer than he's looked in forever, though. So that is positive. Yeah. Hello, Edster. Again, feel free to overfuel as much as you want. It generally would just benefit you. But I should probably change the like limitations because currently I said I can, if I overfuel, it's by maximum of one lap. Just so that it doesn't become super busted.
I'll see you back here.
Okay, looks like we maybe made it through Q1 here now for Gio. There we are. I probably shouldn't say this, but it's actually been a while now since we last had a rainy race. I hate them, but I miss them at the same time.
Radio's good.
Let's see if we can get Gio to Q3 this time. That would be an wouldn't really be a miracle. To be fair, we got Gio to P2 in Baku. We're probably gonna have to do another run here for Gio, maybe. We shall see. Maybe even for Magnussen as well. So let's just prep the car so to be on the safe side. I think we can gamble on Magnussen being safe. Yeah, because they're all within a tenth of each other. That's a bit mad. We're gonna gamble on Magnussen being safe, but we're gonna send Gio out. And basically just wait for all of them to leave, and then you can send him out safely. I might have gambled a bit too much. But we shall see. Ooh, Gio did improve, but he was safe. Gio took Q3. No one can stop him. Bit of a shame there that we did kind of wreck a set that we didn't need to. But,
Radio check, Kev.
again, it's one of those things you kind of have to live with. Yeah, you can copy me, but it's just the most stable way of doing it, I feel. He has resurrected at least a time. Gio wins, I'll agree that he has resurrected. But we still have a couple of days then to power level him through to a race win. Let's see if we can get it done. Because that is something I'd like to see this season. A Gio race win. That is all of them. It just looked weird. Is that all of them? Yeah, it is. I don't know why. I felt like there were fewer drivers left the pits there. 7 and 10th, not the best quality. We are still lacking a bit, particularly in the high-speed corner. Because we nerfed that car. We were struggling so hard in low speed that I nerfed it for high speed instead. I pulled a Uno reverse, and now I regret it. But yeah, P10 isn't the worst. Starting 9th, because Alonso takes penalties. Let's see here, pre-race report. Compound performance. 310 average, about 300 degradation, so about around 10 laps. Only 400 degradation down to the hards, though. Which means that with 610s, again, 15 laps. And medium to hard, barely any degradation. Mediums were quicker for 30 laps. I think soft to medium strategy again, it could work. Has been what has been doing good things for us. Short pit lane again, 21 seconds. So 2-stopper isn't super unlikely. So I think we're setting up for that. We're going to be doing this, but we're going to be doing this instead. Now, Gio doesn't actually have proper soft tires to make this work, as well as it could have. But I think we can make this happen. It's just a bit in the risky zone. So what we could do is this instead. Start on the mediums and then go on the soft in the final stint. Hello Hector, you're out late today. We've had some good races. Magnussen just had back-to-back race wins, so I hope you enjoy. Yeah, we'll see what we can do for this one. Gonna be a bit of a potentially weird one. We shall see. Start on the soft, go like so. I think this should work. There we are. About the same or a bit quicker as one stop, so it's a bit risky if you can't make up positions. But I think it's an okay strategy for both of our boys here. Gonna overfuel by 1 lap because it's just beneficial, and switch to overtake. Get both drivers set up for the start. I think we're ready for the race here. Not as much of an advantage here as we had in Canada. In Canada, this strategy would have given us 19 seconds over the pre-made ones. But this time it runs around the same. So it depends on how much the AI gets held up on their first pit stop. And if we can take advantage and get through the grid quick enough, so we can actually either pull a bit of a gap out front or tuck in behind and safely stay there. It'll depend on that basically.
Hold on
But I wouldn't be too concerned.
It's the British Grand Prix.
As back to back. See how this goes.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
Okay. Looks like Magnussen had a good start here. Already causing a bit of a problem for Hamilton.
Great job on that.
And potentially also causing a problem for Russell. But he just backed out a little bit.
Haas with an
Not really any
overtake.
move, any room to attack there. Gio also picking up a position immediately. Hanging out behind Magnussen. And Magnussen is the only soft runner. The rest are on mediums with just a couple of hard ones. So it's going to be interesting to see if this strategy actually pays off then.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Magnussen just giving up a little bit too easy there. Ocon overtakes Giovinazzi. Guess it was the same thing though, since they were on the same line. Yeah, let's see if we can get any position gain before DRS starts. Doesn't look really likely so far. Oh.
We can take a look now. Okay.
That's
so
unfortunate.
there we have the Alpine. And there's the hit.
I'm very happy that we
Crystal clear
didn't
who was in the
murder
wrong
Magnussen there too. That's unfortunate for
That
Italian Jesus.
was a bitter blow for the team.
Did he
And it
take
may
damage
have
though?
really hurt their overall chances.
Okay, how is your dad? Minor damage. Okay. Just a yellow. Guess we should get him in, but that does put us in a bit of a rough one here. This is going to go so far back. Let's put him on the hard. Get a new front wing on. Unless is that minor damage light enough that he can still, yeah, he can still go. He's actually catching up to the cars in front. I think if we're gonna switch the wing, we do it afterwards. We don't give him an extra. Okay, that is not what I want to press. Want to cancel it? He already caught up to the slow cars in the back, so let's see if he can actually overtake them and make something work there. And
DRS enabled.
looks like it is possible that he might be able to still get things. Might be able to still get things done with a damaged wing.
Is
And
that a new race position for Haas?
but then again, the Williams are really, really slow, so who knows? We'll see. Right now, Magnussen is kind of tucked behind
Haas with an overtake
Hamilton
there.
and Russell. So, not much we can do there. Yeah, Italian Jesus had not the best start. But he is closing onto the cars in front, so... if the front wing isn't that badly damaged, we might just leave it as is for now. And get it when we pit for the next set of mediums. Albon had an accident.
Sounds like someone's locked up. Let's see what
Gasly has won a
happened there.
Monza.
Now
That's
watch
nice.
this.
Any safety cars, or did he win purely on pace? Gasly wins on pure pace and strategy. To be fair, though, most of my wins on this have had come from safety cars, so I shouldn't really be talking. That is very nice, Pano. Good job. Okay, so Gio has damage front wing, but again, it's minor. I think we can just leave him out. It'll depend on how quickly he takes the Astons, if at all. But he has had a couple of bad races now, unfortunately. Might need to recharge Magnussen's ERS so that we can get overtaking opportunities. Well,
Haas with an
Gio
overtake.
is making moves on Schumacher and Show here. So the front wing damage isn't massive. Seems like he isn't really losing too much pace. Particularly compared to like Norris and Gasly. He is catching up. Yeah, that looks good. We'll tune down energy fuel usage once we get to about the kilogram. Yeah, as you can see, Verstappen, Leclerc kind of running away with there, getting a gap to Paris. And train is just too far now, and our tire's a bit too gone to really make any moves at this stage. Just sticking with them is honestly probably the best thing we can do. So let's keep pushing. But let's recharge some ERS. And that should help me out in the long run. Yellow in sector 3. Who had the accident? Alonso?
That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
Alonso ran wide.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
Joe with a lockup too. But yeah, as you can see, Giovinazzi is already caught up to that third DRS train. Although it is starting to get some gaps. So we'll see exactly how that plays out. Now Magnussen, we could keep him out a little bit longer, honestly. As long as he sticks with the cars in front, keeping out longer isn't necessarily a bad idea. As long as it helps him to get out ahead of Norris. But with the gain of 3/10 a lap, well, it's not really 3/10. It's science lap times we're looking at. About a second. We might be able to... Well, it's not that anymore. We actually fallen behind. Deploy. I was looking a little bit too focused on the wrong thing. As long as we can stay with them. Are we staying with them? Not really. Again, got a bit too sidetracked, a bit too focused, and that is currently causing me pain. Let's see if we can close up again, using the energy we painstakingly saved. But yeah, as long as we stay with them and extend the gap down to Norris, I'll be happy. Then we can pit when we feel like it. That is honestly the goal here. There is always the FIA, the handout. We're actually kind of struggling at this stage to just stay with them. Alonso's pitting. Yeah, I kind of want to just stay out. a little bit longer if we can, because I would love to come out ahead of Norris. That would be the best. Getting the gap to make that happen though is gonna be difficult. It's gonna need a few more laps for that. So we shall see. We are kind of hanging it out a bit for longer than we should do to make that work. But I think it's worth it because we are getting pulled along by DRS. And if we don't have to go through that train, we're gonna save tire for one, but time. And that is the more important part. So we're getting close to about the 1 second mark. I think once we get to maybe 7 seconds, 17, sorry. So 1 or 2 more laps, and that'll be it. Verstappen just pitted. Okay, I think we can pit on this one. This is the one we pit on, because now most of the cars that we were worried about pitted. It's only Norris and Rick. And even if they don't pit, I think we'll be able to make our way through them. That is fine. We can also have Gio here do a couple of laps of attacking before he pits. Just behind Vettel. Honestly, we'll just pit him immediately too. And we're gonna have to take the L and wait 7 seconds to get that new front wing on. I think it's just for long term. Leclerc pits, the rest of the field day does not, which means we could potentially jump them. Norris and Rick, we're not going to beat Vettel, please. Nah, we didn't beat him either. 35-second pit stop. Okay. That's a bit unfortunate. They lied to me. But yeah, we have penalties, we have front wing, we have everything here with Gio, and even then we came out ahead of show. So gonna be interesting to see how quickly we can make it up through these boys. That's gonna be what decides this for us, I think. Yeah, time loss should be about 21 seconds during a pit stop. So I was probably thinking about last race when we had 19, which skewed it a bit in the opposite end. So that's on me. But again, now basically how quickly can Magnussen get through the rabble? There we go. Got Vettel. Now it's Leclerc actually with the two McLarens. That's going to be an issue. And Giovinazzi again is kind of just going to have to be running his own race a bit. Norris pitted. We should make this a bit easier. Leclerc should immediately overtake Rick. And Rick shouldn't have enough speed to keep up with Leclerc. And if he doesn't, we might actually be able to just hitch a ride with Leclerc. Which wouldn't be the worst thing. Again, all four in front there are going to have to pit. Hamilton just pitted. Probably not going to beat him out though, are we? Just barely. Question is, are we going to get Rick now? Because Leclerc got him. And now it's our turn. If need be, we could use a little bit of overtake here. There we are. And let's deploy a bit too. See if we get into Leclerc. And we just had Verstappen running a bit wide.
Haas with an overtake.
Wasted a little bit too much DRS there. But I think it's fine if we got into DRS here in front. We did not. Got a bit too trigger happy there. Should come out ahead of Sainz though. And Gio is just living his best life. Yeah. Oh, never mind.
Let's have a look.
Little bit of a spin there.
On Kevin Magnussen here.
Things were going well.
They've spun their car.
And then we spun and let two cars by, but I think we held up to the Merc. Just, you know, unfortunate for the Merc. Let's see, yeah, we were behind Leclerc. We lost about 7 seconds there. Which is very, very unfortunate. Gio should get the overtake done here. Don't really need to help him. And Russell will come out ahead of us due to Spinderella we just did. Let's see here what we can do. Magnussen's still fighting Hamilton.
Is
Are we
that
catching up
a
to the
new
cars in
race
front?
position for Haas?
Potentially. Giovinazzi got Bottas as well. Nice. Well, he finally got Bottas. That's the one he was fighting. Gasly. It's going to be a bit of a struggle to get up to the McLaren have Norris, which is where we kind of want him. So we'll see exactly how that plays out. I think we can speed things up a little bit at this stage. Honestly, if Hamilton ends up helping to drag us along so we get into that other DRS train, that would be actually be kind of neat. But I think it's going to be rough no matter how we want to slice it. Giovinazzi gets Gasly. Very good. Vettel next. Got Alonso. Italian Jesus will no longer be needed anymore. Honestly, I think it's fine to just keep Italian Jesus. I needed him as a reference for Gotifi and Stroll. But yeah, right now it's looking alright. It's not looking super great, but it's looking alright. If Magnussen pits, he would come out in free air. And the idea is very simple, that we pit, the tires bring us to victory. Is the hope. We'll see if it actually pans out like that in reality. I think we can go balanced on fuel. Multiple cars have crashed. Virtual safety car. Okay, let's see here. It's a virtual safety car. We just left the pits.
Disabled, disabled.
BSC. 8 seconds lost for pitting. I think we want to, if VSC is still active once we get to the other end of the track. Pit.
Sounds like a few cars have crashed.
We'd probably have
Here's the
pitted
replay. Now look at this. Daniel
Italian Jesus, but he needs
Ricciardo
to get on
involved
soft, so I can't really.
here. That's the contact
Okay.
there. Oh, there's chaos on the track.
That was a straight up T-bone. Almost. I feel like that should have been a little bit more than a virtual. But I guess since they're both driving still, it's not. I think we're going to pit Magnussen too, yeah. So we're going to go medium so we make sure that they last to the end. I think. Because for this one, if we go soft now, they'll just barely last. But if we go medium instead, we don't have medium. Oh, sorry, this is Geo. Let's see. If we go mediums, it is potentially quicker. If we go softs, it is potentially slower. We have less to play with. We do also have a lot of extra fuel, so that's why I'm thinking we go mediums. So we pit him to mediums for sure. And we have also Leclerc and Verstappen doing the same thing. And we get the pace up done before the incident is over. Putting Giovinazzi here on the soft is doable. It's just going to be risky in terms of having the tires last, but I think it's worth it. Okay, he didn't actually... I was too late there. That's my bad. We're going to cancel the pit stop. It is a fairly lengthy virtual safety car, though. Okay. See, this is going to be interesting. Magnussen.
We will go to high fuel
Verstappen and Leclerc both have also the same strategy in mind.
VSC ending. VSC ending.
See if we can make things happen.
DRS enabled. DRS enabled.
DRS has been re-enabled. We have a lot of free air to chase down cars in. Theo is playing with Vettel and Alonso, but again, he does need to pit again. So with this, we can actually just go full on attack on these mediums. It has to be Mazepin. I think they removed him from the game, Dark.
Haas with an overtake there.
See, he was particularly unpopular for a number of reasons, so they just yeeted him. I don't know, has he ever been in the game? I think he was in the game for like a week or two, if I remember correctly.
Haas with an overtake.
Everyone is pitting now around Gio. So let's have Gio pit too onto softs. And he can just push, deploy, whatever, just so that he can hopefully get out in front of them. Even though this is kind of risky. And for Magnus' sake, we'll see if we can catch up those 16 seconds.
Seems to have been a lockup.
Sure, we'll lock up. It's a shame that I couldn't get Gio in there when I wanted to. I was too late though, so it's all on me. It does happen. Gio with fastest lap in the pits. Excuse me. Gio set a new fastest lap in the pit lane. I think that's the first time I've seen that. 132. That's amazing. I need to tune him down.
We need a
I have not
back
heard the
off.
rumors of a new Massipin team, honestly. That was a goat move, though. Like, I can see why it might be quicker. Because you do skip a couple of corners here. But you're driving so much slower. So what would his lap time be if he didn't pit? That was a bit of an interesting one. Oh. I think that was the very minimal lockup then. Because I don't think he lost anything, so that's good.
Now just focus on the Haas. And there's the lockup. It almost got...
Okay, he locked up, went slightly wide, didn't kill Bottas. I can live with this. Snap back to reality. But yeah, Gio setting the fastest lap in the pit lane there was kind of mad, but Verstappen has taken that back. We are running quicker than the front runner, almost by a second, so 12 laps to go. We're gonna struggle to get up there though, I think, unfortunately.
Is that a new race
We shall
position
see.
for Haas?
We could also go a little bit more aggressive on these tires down the line, so it's okay. But Gio is also now in a position of scoring points. That would be nice too. Schumacher, Rick Norris, and they are running on softs and hards, so we shall see. Gio is running pretty quick though, 34s. It's actually almost quicker than anyone. Magnus is the only one running quicker right now. K-Mag is safe. I think K-Mag might actually catch up to these boys once they start slowing a bit more down. Austria, Mike P4, Hulkenberg P9. Those are good results. PR2 is kind of okay right now. I don't want to push the tires. It's gonna hurt. And he's already gotten Schumacher. And Bottas 2 has killed Schumacher. So this is just Rick. Once he gets into DRS, he should be able to get by. Kind of the same situation with Magnus, since I don't really have anything to do. I just need to run their races now to the end. Yeah, I think we should be happy with what we've done this stream. We had a 1-2 in Baku. And we had K-Mag with back-to-back victories. Same as he did last season. Baku plus Canada. So I guess I just have the strategy nailed on those tracks, I guess. There we go. Gio did get...
Haas with an overtake there.
and then Mag spinned. Deja vu. But yeah, I know that feeling. Gio has dispatched Rick. Dispatching Norris, though, is probably a bit too much to ask, seeing that he is gaining about 3 to 4 tenths a lap, and it's 10 seconds and 5 laps. Magnussen, too, probably won't be able to make anything work here, so let's tune down the usage of fuel a bit and speed things up a little bit. It's gonna require a spin, basically, for Magnussen to get something. And Gio is already DRS safe from Rick, so again, just maintain at this stage. It's unfortunate, strategy didn't really pan out, but at least we get Geo in the points, so we can be happy with that. Needs to be a bit more reliable on certain tracks. We're still a little bit too much one way, either low end or high end. So we'll see what we do in future to fix that.
Is that a lockup?
Schumacher with a locker without killing anyone. What is this? Christmas? Yeah. Looks like we're going to get a P7, P9. Not a bad result necessarily. But we've had better ones. Minus and 3 seconds behind. PO10. Maybe it would have gone better if we gamble with the softs.
The weekend.
Good drive, mate.
But yeah,
Can you go mode slow, please?
bit risky.
Checkered flag.
But we
checkered
can be happy with that, I think, honestly. P7, P9. That's actually where we started, funnily enough. But Sainz snatching a victory here is it's a bit exciting, honestly. It helps us out. Verstappen 4th in, you know, Magnussen's fight. So Verstappen doesn't actually run super far away. He just gains 7 points more. That's good for us. Perez 2nd. Ferrari 1-5. Mercedes 3 and 6. Us 7 and 9th. McLaren 8 and 10th. Yeah, not the worst result ever. These boys are just a point away from each other now. Leclerc just overtook him. But yeah, it'll be funny to see if we can actually get the constructors, well, drivers constructors here at least. And we'll see where we go with this, because we aren't stable enough yet. We don't have two really stable drivers. We have K-Mag and sometimes Italian users. Invite you to open the game again. Thanks, I've played in months. Honestly, the current like challenge setup I'm running is pretty decent for making the game feel more entertaining. Like, our car still isn't super good, but it's a bit of a shame that you need to restrict yourself with rules to make the game super kind of fun again. But yeah, development point for Magnussen, pretty decent point scoring for both of them, and be very happy with that. Bit of a driver bonus, bit of a fastest lap. We failed that one, that's fine. But yeah, Ricardo, it is good now. To just chill a little bit. I guess we should go reactions too. Help him, because when we watch him, you can see that he's slower out of the corners than people he's fighting, and that kind of leaves him behind at stages, which isn't the best. So we might just try and balance cornering and reactions going forward. Other than that, the car, quick look again. It is not bad by any means necessary. It's just that we're lacking the high-speed cornering now. We were lacking low speed. Now we turned it around and, you know, done the opposite. So it's still a good car. I still think we can win races with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing the next few races that are happening. Side pods have been manufactured. Which means that we should go here and manufacture some other pieces like suspension and chassis. Let's make one suspension now. Then we'll make chassis once that's done. Chassis takes longer. Getting the suspension out quicker. And regulation mode here. For double points for last race. Vote against. Why they stop the car when they lock up? Honestly, I think they wanted to code people like locking up hard and getting kind of stuck in gravel. And then having to kind of slowly make their way out, but they didn't do it properly, so they're lacking a bit when it comes to rejoining safely, among other things. And they just, as a stopgap, made the car stop instead of, you know, joining the race safely again, which is very frustrating. But unfortunately, it's just the way they decided to solve the problem. He was still on the track when he just looked wide. Yeah, Melvin actually has some development points here. Good old Melvin. Probably give him some high-speed downforce. And let's see, rest as points goes into Underfloor. It's just the best investment. Quick crew management, please. Quick crew management, please. And yeah, our pit crew is not looking great. Mainly because we're sticking to balanced. Just so I can't give me a little bit more of a negative gain. Exceeding expectations with a P7 and a P9. Okay, I'll take it. I will accept your grandiose claims of fame. Front wing and underfloor both manufactured. Let's get the chassis that we need manufactured, and then I think we're back to where we need to be in terms of parts. That should be okay. Race prep, Austrian Grand Prix. Qualifying Q2. I think we're good. But unfortunately, it seems like I might have to go. And we might have to just end the stream here, unfortunately. So we're gonna end it here for today. Still good. How far have we gotten? We've done 10 out of 22 races. I will be streaming tomorrow. That's the plan, at least. Same time. Trying to keep it a bit regular. Might change up the time if someone has a strong wish for other times, but I'm thinking I just stick to it because it fits my schedule pretty well. And it's a pretty good one. And that is the sound of my headset saying that we are about to perish. So before I hit the turns off, I'm probably going to end it. But yeah, I am taking it easy, Edsta. I am taking it very, very chill, honestly. I have a lot of fun with the game again. I'm feeling good. Basically, the reason why I slowed down extremely in December was that I had days where I would literally just barely have enough energy to go to work, get back home, make dinner, and then go to bed. But I'm better now. The operations have fixed that, and I actually have energy to do things during the daytime and then sit down and stream at night and still feel pretty good. So I'm fine. But if I feel something is wrong, I will let you guys know, and I will make sure to take it easy. But yeah, hope you all have enjoyed today's stream, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, and this has been a lot of fun. Hope we can keep it going. But yeah, as said about the challenge game, Stroll Latifi, gonna finish this season, see where we end up, and then make maybe another kind of review. We did change things up for this season. Like, I can't use safety wind tunnel on underfloor rear front wing, which is actually pretty good. The fact that we can't research, also pretty good. It does slow us down every new season, and it's a bit of a bigger one next season, I believe, where we're getting hit by a 30% one in certain things. So we'll see how that stacks up. But yeah, thank you again for watching. Enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Ghastly Pole in Singapore. Seems you have developed your car well, Parno. Hope you all have fun. Hope you all have a good Easter, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.